up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Saturday to you all. Welcome to the new stream. Thank you so much for joining in. I know I'm a bit late. It's not like I would say typically I'm late or something. Just because I was just setting up things and kuch gadbad hua tha. It was not like it was a error. मैंने keyboard पे कुछ रख दिया था, so I didn't notice that I actually there was a issue with that. But anyways, this is not gonna be a typical stream I usually do. This is something which I wanna pretty much focus on. जैसे कि तुम लोगों को पता है, I've been always telling that I wanna focus on playing, VGC a lot. I wanna focus on playing VGC for actual, legit. So easily, तो regional tournament doesn't happen in India. That's really bad or sad, whatever. But yeah, I was like, okay, let me improve myself before like it becomes official. Like मैंने ऐसा सोचा. So इसीलिए अपन ने थोड़ा regulation अभी the current one is regulation F meta. So regulation F is more of is considered to be at the up. The tournaments is gonna be played anymore. So what I thought is I will learn regulation F by playing with the teams what was played before by the actual legit players. And you guys saw me reacting on Darsh regulation F team. Hey Ankur, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining in, buddy. Hope you had a great day. Hope this stream makes it better for you. So as you all see me showdown today, right? The tournament is tomorrow. The tournament is happening tomorrow. Hey yo, edit by Nexo. What's up? Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining in, buddy. Hope you had a great day. Hope this stream makes it better for you. So yeah, so what I was saying was the regulation F is currently the format which every Pokemon tournament is happening. So मैंने क्या सोचा, like because regulation F is not a new one, like how we have regulation J, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. J is the current one. But yeah, regulation F is an old game. So there are players who actually played that and won tournaments. So I thought जैसे कि हमने दर्श की वीडियो पे react किया था, like we had reacted on it. So Wolfie had made a team which he Darsh also mentioned about it. So I thought why not react to Wolfie's team what he made, and also then later on play with that team, and if possibly if I win on a streak of 5, that's where I'm gonna end the stream. That's what I'm thinking of. So it's gonna help me to practice a lot, predict a lot. Hey yo Galactic, what's up? What's up? Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining in, buddy. Hope you had a great day. Hope this stream makes it better for you. Give me a second, chat. I'm just gonna connect my headphone so it becomes easier for me to listen as well. I hope you guys are ready. It's gonna be more of insightful, learning a lot. And if you haven't watched Wolfie's video, shout out to Wolfie for giving this video out, man. You are just the GOAT who helps us a lot to improve our gaming. Who knows, maybe in the future I might get opportunity to meet Wolfie. You never know. So let's see. Without wasting time, I'll just dive into it.
This is a story about failure. Oh, sure, it's about other things too, like Pokemon and friendship and luck and a little mushroom that became a symbol of something much bigger than itself. But first and foremost, it's about failure. And I mean literally, because this story starts with my failure. I went to Europe to try and win a huge tournament. I prepared well, built a team I was really proud of, and gave it my all. But I just barely fell short at the finish line, finishing 13th. And it's not that 13th is
Yo, Ryota, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Hey, Rajat, what's up? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Thank you so much for joining in. Who was mine was Rito Riba, dude. Rito Riba. I don't know whether you guys familiar with him. But yeah, Rito Riba was my go-to, top first artist. Top 2 was, what was that his name, dude? Creepy Nuts, yeah, Creepy Nuts. Top 2 was Creepy Nuts because I am so obsessed with their, a lot of songs they do. It's like for me. Yeah, so let's dive into it. Let's dive into it. I don't want to get it distracted. I don't want to pause the video. I don't want to pause. This is going to be the last pause I'm going to do. This is the last pause I'm going to do. What about you two? Wolfie is my first, dude. Wolfie is my first.
But I just barely fell short at the finish line, finishing 13th. And it's not that 13th is bad, but I was trying to win. And as I was flying home, I realized I was really bummed out. See, I really love the team that I built, but I'll never be able to use it again. In just a few weeks, the rule set that the official competitive circuit uses will change, and all existing teams will be rendered completely obsolete. And I think what really stings is not just the fact that my team is fun to use, it's that I know it has what it takes to win. I guess I just feel like I didn't do it justice. Like I let my Pokemon down. I get back from Europe and spend a few days battling jet lag, but I'm restless, agitated, and not just because I had beans for breakfast in London. I've got this general feeling of malaise, that something's not right. And I realize that it's my team and my performance in Europe. I want another shot, but I don't get another shot. Like I said, the format changes in just a few weeks, and there's no more tournaments before then. Well, okay, technically that's a lie. There is one final tournament in a couple of days, Orlando Regionals. The problem is I didn't register, I didn't book a flight, I'm leaving town Thursday, and I'm still jet lagged. But I figure, what's the harm in seeing if registration is still open? Tournaments usually sell out quickly, so it's probably not, it's still open. But remember how I said I was leaving town Thursday? I'm catching a train up to Providence to watch my friend Aaron defend his PhD thesis Friday morning, and I'm not willing to miss that. So I'd probably need to fly out of Boston.
Oh, you have seen this? I won a Pokemon tournament to defend my title is the title of the video, dude. I think you might have seen this, but yeah, it's me reacting to it right now. So let's watch it. Let's watch it.
Boston, I guess. Let me look at tickets. Honestly, they're not that bad. And a mutual friend of Aaron and mine is driving back to Boston after the defense, and he can give me a ride. Is this actually gonna happen? So it's Wednesday, the tournament starts Saturday, and I leave town Thursday. But despite the ridiculously short notice, I make the call. I'm gonna go to Orlando and give this team one last ride. Orlando Regionals is special to me. I've won it 3 times before, including last year where I used my Parish Trap team, which is one of my all-time favorites. So this is my chance to not only prove my current team has what it takes, but also to defend my title of Orlando Regional Champion. I ride the train up to Providence and watch as Dr. Aaron Trailer successfully defends his PhD thesis. Then, after a delicious banh mi lunch, I catch a ride with my friend Jake up to Boston. Jake reminds me that the last time he gave me a ride to a regional, I won it. Back in Massachusetts in 2015, my first Parish Trap win. We make it to the airport around 2:30, with plenty of time to spare before my flight at 5. So, imagine my surprise to find myself still in the Boston airport at 6 p.m. Just kidding, it's 7 p.m. now. Then I blink and it's 9:30 p.m. There's flight delay after flight delay. It's like some cosmic being is doing everything in its power to keep me from making it to Orlando. Or maybe it's just that the weather is bad. Probably the cosmic deity though. After a lot of stress and some really mid-airport food, my plane finally departs. But because of all the delays, we don't land until around 1:30 in the morning, which means I don't make it to the hotel until close to 2:30. Luckily, my friends Yotam, Yuki, and Justin had an extra space in their hotel room, but they're all asleep by the time I get in. I take a quick shower, hop into bed, and get a whopping 4 hours of sleep before it's time to get up and start getting ready for the tournament. But before we talk about the tournament itself, we have to talk about the team that I'll be using. If you watched my video on the European Internationals last week, you might remember that I talked about this team for a very, very long time. If you're somebody who's really interested in the insane depth of team building, or you're curious about some of the inner workings of this team, I'd recommend you go check out that video. Otherwise, here's a quick recap so my editor doesn't kill me for talking about Amoonguss for 15 minutes again. Amoonguss, the star of the show, nicknamed Glue Trap. What makes Amoonguss special is that I decided to drop Pollen Puff, the normal last move, for Sludge Bomb, losing some support capacity for offense. The other weird thing about Amoonguss is how I've trained it. Rather than all-inning on its defense like most Amoonguss do, I've gone with a more balanced spread to allow Amoonguss to both work against Psychic Terrain-based teams and Ogerpon Hearthflame. It's also faster than every other Amoonguss, because I've chosen to be exactly as fast as the slowest version of Ursaluna Blood Moon.
Oh, that's
a speed stat nobody else wants, because if it ever comes up,
that's a nice strategy to use where you knock off your opponent's safety goggles and then use a spore on Incin. That's actually a good idea, and because again Amoonguss becomes a speed tie with that's really scary.
Which Pokemon moves first is decided by an exact 50-50 chance. Next, I add an Incineroar, aka Just a Glance. Incineroar is the single best Pokemon in the game, maybe the best Pokemon of all time, and I think not using it is a mistake. Incineroar paired with Amoonguss will be my defensive backbone, offering Intimidate, Fake Out, and Parting Shot support. I train Incineroar to be faster than most other Incineroar while still being able to take the important hits. What makes this Incineroar unique is actually its Terra type. Normally, Grass is used to ignore Amoonguss, since Grass types are immune to both Spore and Rage Powder. But the Safety Goggles already does this, so most people wouldn't consider Grass Incineroar here. But I really want to resist both water and ground attacks with my Terra, and Grass is the only type that can do both. With a Fire and a Grass type under my belt, I obviously wanted a Water type. And since I'm forcing myself to only consider Pokemon that have been proven to be good this year, the next Pokemon was obvious. Urshifu, nicknamed Slippery Dog. Its ability lets it hit through Protect, and its signature move always critical hits, making it one of the strongest Pokemon ever. I'll use the same moves and Terra type I ran when I won Charlotte Regionals earlier this year,
I have no idea,
as well as the same item, the Choice Scarf. This item makes Urshifu 50% faster
Nah, there is
another
guy.
There's another person. Moves once it's selected one until it switches out. What's unique about my Urshifu is that despite holding the Choice Scarf, it's extremely slow. It's actually as slow as I could justify making it. This is for two reasons. One, I want to survive Raging Bolt Thunderclap, which could otherwise KO me before I move, and two, I want to attack after other Choice Scarf Urshifu to allow me to U-turn after they've made their move, letting me switch another Pokemon in safely without risking them taking a powerful attack. Next, I needed a special attacker, so I added the most used Pokemon in the game, Fluttermane. Nicknamed Boss Battle. Fluttermane has absurd stats and great typing, capable of hitting most Pokemon in the game for good damage, while being somewhat difficult to remove thanks to its great special bulk and limited weaknesses. I went with a standard move set, but opted to deviate from the normal set when it comes to item and stats. Most Fluttermane are using the Booster Energy item to boost their speed, letting Fluttermane support its teammates with moves like Icy Wind and Taunt, but I want my Fluttermane to do damage. The normal damaging set though uses the Choice Specs, and that can't protect, which means it can't take advantage of Incineroar or Amoonguss very well. So I trained my Fluttermane with a focus on its offense, allowing it to get a special attack boost from the Booster Energy
what's up?
instead.
Welcome to the stream,
Terra
buddy.
Fairy both turns off Fluttermane's weakness to Ghost and gives it a damage boost on Moonblast and Dazzling Gleam, making it the obvious choice. Now I need some speed control, but my current offensive Pokemon don't like fighting inside of Trick Room, which causes slow Pokemon to move before fast ones. The next best option then is Tailwind, which doubles the speeds of all your Pokemon for 4 turns. The problem is the only real Tailwind setter at the moment is Tornadus. Tornadus is a great Pokemon, but its signature move is inaccurate, which makes me hesitant to bet on it, until I remembered that Bleakwind Storm never misses in rain. Tailwind is a nice option, but Tornadus is mostly here to click Bleakwind Storm and Rain, hitting both targets and threatening the grass types that are immune to Spore. Rain Dance also boosts Urshifu's power and protects Amoonguss from fire types, giving me reason to use it beyond the guaranteed hit effect. I give Tornadus a Focus Sash, which will always allow it to survive one hit, so I can focus on spamming Bleakwind, and nicknamed it Opportunity to remind myself to find the opportunity to set up the rain. With just one Pokemon left, I needed something that could threaten Raging Bolt and Ogerpon Hearthflame, two difficult Pokemon for my team. And with what I had already, there was only one Pokemon that could work, Landorus Incarnate. Landorus is cool because of a weird interaction it has with its ability and a particular item. Its ability Sheer Force gives all moves that have a secondary effect a damage boost in exchange for them losing that secondary effect. Life Orb is an item that gives all moves a damage boost at the cost of losing 10% of their health whenever they hit something. But for some reason, this Life Orb recoil effect counts as a secondary effect when paired with Sheer Force and won't activate, but will still give the damage boost. With 2 additional damage multipliers on an already strong Pokemon, Landorus Incarnate hits like a truck. I gave it Earth Power and Sludge Bomb for damage, and Substitute to capitalize on Pokemon playing defensively around it, and to punish Amoonguss, and trained it to be fast, hit hard, and survive certain key attacks from Psychic Terrain-based teams. I named it Control because of how much control I get over the battle if I ever set up a Substitute unpunished. So now that you're all caught up on the team that I'm going to be using, let's return to the present. 6:30 a.m. in Orlando, Florida, where I'm running on maybe 4 hours of sleep. My friends and I
Hey,
shower,
why not?
get
Yeah,
dressed,
makes sense,
grab
makes
some
sense. It's
breakfast, and head to the
your thing,
venue.
your thing.
The tournament has
Just
3
asking,
phases,
what's
and
the
in order to
reason
make it
for
to the
it?
second one, I'll need to win 7 of my 9 games today. The second phase has 6 more rounds tomorrow, and between those games and the 9 games today, I can only afford 2 losses total if I want to guarantee I advance to the final phase. So 7 wins today is enough, but my goal is 8 or 9. Round 1 pairings go up, and I'm facing down a terrifying Pokemon.
Yeah, I see. I
Weezing
saw
shuts down
that.
all
With the
abilities on the
Pikachu,
field
right?
except for its own, which makes it really tough to play against. But the thing is, I have a lot of experience using Weezing from a tournament I played in with it. And because of that, I understand very well how to play around Weezing, even without access to my abilities. I win in
Okay, that's gonna be scary for me because Wolfie knows how to play it, and if I ever face a Pokemon which is like a, Galar Weezing and stuff, then I'm cooked because he has a lot of experience, dude. And anyway, I am trying to learn here, so nothing to be much worried about it. But 1 second. So let's see.
2 games. Round 2 is not so easy though. It's against the Tinglu Dondozo player, which is one of my team's harder matchups due to how bulky Tinglu and Dondozo are, and how easy it is for them to disrupt my team with the combination of Sand Tomb, which traps whatever it hits in the field and does damage over time, and Yawn, which puts a Pokemon to sleep unless they switch out. My notes on what
that's a
happened in
nice
this match
strategy.
are lacking. Oh yeah, we don't have a way to record like footage from actual tournaments at the moment. All the battles that you'll see in this
Search
video are
most evil
recreations that we do
new
after the
moves
fact.
sets,
It normally
it's really
takes
low.
like
I'll
40
check that,
hours
I'll
to be
check that.
honest. So yeah, if things are like a little bit imprecise, like what you see doesn't necessarily match what I say, that's the reason why. The issue with this Tinglu Dondozo team is not only the Tinglu and Dondozo, but also the Dragonite. Normally these teams use Choice Band Dragonite, which I can beat with Fluttermane, but this one is Terra Steel, Loaded Dice, Scale Shot, Iron Head. Scale Shot hits 2 to 5 times.
Okay, another catch is yeah, I will play with regulation F best of 3. That's better for me to learn and also play. And yeah, Darsh also mentioned I have watched his another video where he also mentioned that practice always playing in best of 3, so you will know open shit formats to play
Normally and raises the user's speed, but with the Loaded Dice item, it'll always hit 4 to 5 times. And with Terra Steel and Iron Head, my Fluttermane can't actually beat it consistently. I win game 1 thanks to a very lucky Scale Shot miss when Dragonite had 2 attack boosts thanks to the Howl Gouging Fire, but I lose game 2 as they adapt and bring their Goldengo in, who I struggle to deal with. The third game is really close, but this time I'm ready for Goldengo, and I smack it with Knockoff as it switches in addition to getting some early damage on Tinglu with close combat as I predict it to not Terra. Even with these great calls, the game is tight, but I narrowly come out on top. 2 wins and 0 losses in the tournament. An important early win and an important matchup to beat, and hopefully one I won't have to see again for the rest of the tournament.
Moonbreathing, what's up?
Also,
Welcome to the
this
stream,
is normally
buddy.
where I would do a sub plug and ask you to subscribe, but I'm just gonna be real with y'all if that's cool. Like if we
Yep,
can just
yep.
be,
Subscribe
like no
to Wolfie,
YouTuber below now.
subscribe.
I'll just keep it.
If you haven't
real.
subscribed
I'd love
to
if you
mine, subscribe right
There are a
away.
lot of people who work on this channel, and for a long time, competitive Pokemon was seen as really illegitimate. Like it wasn't seen as like an actual like thing, and I think it's definitely changed a lot in the last couple of years. And one thing that's really helpful for me is having like a bigger number to use to bring to people who don't understand what competitive Pokemon is and say basically like, hey, this is popular, like look at the subscribers, you know what I mean? And so when I'm trying to do big events
You've been
outside of the
hit by,
existing
struck
space,
by
it's helpful
a
for me to
smooth
have a
criminal,
bigger number
huh?
that I
What's
can
that?
go
What
with
do
to
you
help
mean
bring
by
in people
that,
who
huh?
don't have kind of the context to know like that much about competitive Pokemon, you know what I mean? So if you like want to support the channel, you want to support other people who work on it, or you care about competitive Pokemon and want, to have me to have more leveraging power, I would appreciate it. Anyway, back to the tournament. Round 3 pairings go up, and as I sit down and take a look at my opponent's team sheet, my heart rate picks up. I'm going up against a Psychic Terrain-based Trick Room team. For those of you who don't know, these teams are terrifying. They use Psychic Terrain defensively to stop priority moves like Fake Out, and use Indeedee's Follow Me to set Trick Room up almost guaranteed. In Trick Room, slower Pokemon move before faster ones, and so these teams aim to use extremely powerful slow attackers to overwhelm opposing teams, and ideally win the game in just 5 turns. Once Trick Room is up, Psychic Terrain becomes an offensive tool as well, powering up all Psychic type moves.
Wait, he did say something and I was watching your chat. I'm so sorry. Are we talking about Imprison Transform plus Fire Spin Mew? Nah, search it up, bro. Then what is it? I'm not gonna search it up for now. At least someone I'll check it out when I'm offline. Because right now I need to focus on this.
Almost guaranteed. In truth, if you don't know, these teams are terrifying. They use Psychic Terrain defensively to stop priority moves like Fake Out, and use Indeedee's Follow Me to set Trick Room up almost guaranteed. In Trick Room, slower Pokemon move before faster ones. And so these teams aim to use extremely powerful, slow attackers to overwhelm opposing teams, and ideally win the game in just 5 turns. Once Trick Room is up, Psychic Terrain becomes an offensive tool as well, powering up all Psychic type moves and allowing the move Expanding Force to hit both of your Pokemon instead of just one. Normally, the best way to handle these Psychic Terrain teams, more colloquially known as Psy-Spam, is to overwrite their terrain with something like Rillaboom or to reverse Trick Room. I can't do either. When I first started using my team, I thought this matchup might be impossible, so I asked my friends Yuki and Justin to help me figure it out. Yuki handled the Trick Room variants, while Justin handled the other type of Psy-Spam teams, and after a lot of practice, I developed a game plan. While these teams are incredibly strong, they're also very linear, and so it's possible to build a complex, branching flowchart against them because all the battles tend to play out in the same way. I even trained a few Pokemon on my team specifically for this matchup, but I didn't end up playing a single one in Europe. This will be the first real test of whether all my preparation actually paid off. The battle starts with Indeedee and Armarouge against my Incineroar and Amoonguss. Normally my plan is to lead Landorus here, but the presence of Lilligant means I need to change things up slightly. Amoonguss might seem strange to use here since it's weak to Psychic, but that's about to change. I Terrastallize Amoonguss to Water as Indeedee uses Follow Me and takes a knockoff, but instead of going for Trick Room, Armarouge launches a Meteor Beam, getting a special attack boost and KOing Incineroar in one hit. Amoonguss fires back with a Spore, putting Indeedee to sleep as I send in Flutter Mane. It might look bad to lose a Pokemon turn 1, but without Trick Room, this team is going to have a hard time winning. Indeedee switches to Ursaluna as Armarouge is forced to Terrastallize to Grass to survive the Shadow Ball, and Amoonguss protects itself from the Expanding Force, maintaining full HP. I switch Amoonguss to Tornadus and use Dazzling Gleam to finish off Armarouge, as Ursaluna's Facade hits the switched in Tornadus, bringing it down to Focus Sash. My opponent's other option is to send in Sleeping Indeedee, so they instead send out
what's up? Welcome
but
to the
Trick Room
stream.
still isn't up. Gallade goes for a wide guard, but it doesn't block anything as I set the rain up with Torn and KO Gallade with Moonblast, and Ursaluna KOs Flutter Mane with Headlong Rush. It's 2 against 2 now, but their Indeedee is asleep, Rain is up, and both their Pokemon are damaged. Rage Powder and 2 Bleakwind Storms wins me the game. But that was a little bit too close for comfort. And if I can be honest, I didn't realize that Meteor Beam was going to KO Incineroar in a single hit, and that made things a lot dicier than it needed to be. I feel like they're going to change their plan up. If I were them, I'd probably lead Lilligant and Torkoal to try and overwhelm my team right away. I'm going off script, but I think I want to try and lead Tornadus here just in case. Torn and Amoonguss face off against Lilligant and Torkoal. I called the lead perfectly. They switch Torkoal out into Indeedee as I go for a Rain Dance, and Lilligant shows why Sleep Powder is inferior to Spore as it misses my Tornadus, and Amoonguss puts the switched in Indeedee to sleep. I bring Lilligant down to its Focus Sash the next turn as they once again try to Sleep Powder, but it's blocked by Protect. Torn finishes Lilligant off as Indeedee takes a second turn of sleep, and from here there's no longer an answer to Terra Water Amoonguss in the rain. Despite setting Trick Room up, there's no way for them to stop Amoonguss, and I win the game cleanly. 3 wins, 0 losses. My next round is against another Sun
The team is good,
so
though.
this one is more reliant on it than the last round.
How is your controller now? I think it works. I haven't connected. I haven't connected lately, but I think it's cool. Yeah, it works. I don't know about singles meta, but yeah, probably. Although Taunt should be good tool against all teams. Dude, I've been invited for a collab for a draft league, dude, but I don't know whether it's gonna be VGC or singles. I'm very like, if it's doubles, I think I can play very well, but if it's single, I'm fucked. I don't know. I've been invited from a PokeTubers, like, to participate in participate in the draft league, but I'm kind of like, okay. And also they asked for a collab for a dice Pokemon game or something. I don't know what exactly is that, but they did suggest me to watch some videos. I saw them recording today in the morning. It's not just Indians, but there's a collaboration with other international player creators as well. Wait, I don't know why I have this habit of just going to the reel and check whether it's going great or not. But yeah, let's continue it. Let's continue it.
Because it doesn't have a consistent Trick Room option. Unfortunately for them, Tornadus' Rain Dance is a complete menace, and with the Focus Hash keeping it alive, there's no clear way for my opponent to get rid of Torn. In game 1, they don't even bother bringing Torkoal, but without the Sun, they just don't have the damage to break through, and I win by abusing Tornadus and Fluttermane. Game 2 opens up with a Walking Wake and Torkoal lead against my Tornadus and Urshifu, but I pick up a double KO on the first turn with close combat, critical hitting Walking Wake, and Bleak Wind KOing the switched in Whimsicott. They expected me to Rain Dance and wanted to try and encore Tornadus into it, but I decided to just attack. Up 4-2 after a single turn, I win the game. 4 wins, 0 losses. Round 5 is against another team with Whimsicott, but the disadvantage of using Whimsicott as your Tailwind setter is that it's weak to Tornadus. My opponent gambled early on Urshifu being KO'd by their Landorus, but thanks to all my bulk, it isn't close, and I quickly win game 1. Game 2 is a bit scarier. I switched to Torn and Amoonguss as my lead against Incineroar and Urshifu Dark, who's holding a Choice Band. But despite the threat of Fake Out, I think they're going to double attack Amoonguss. I switched to Urshifu and survive the Terra Dark, Choice Band Wicked Blow, and Flare Blitz, as Torn misses Bleakwind Storm. I don't want that to happen.
Wait. Okay, let me watch it full. Then I'll get back to the video again. Hey, Tanjiro, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining in, buddy. Hope you had a great day. Hope the stream makes it better for you. I'm gonna watch this whole video and I'll watch it again so that I know what Pokemon is he opening with. What are the 4 Pokemon
Again, so I go for Rain Dance.
So it helps me to understand
Surging Strikes to knock out their Urshifu and survive the Flare Blitz, but it burns, cutting my damage output in half. They send out Whimsicott, but in the first game, I switched my Torn out whenever Encore risked locking me into a bad move. So my opponent predicts me to switch again and preemptively switches their Whimsicott into Landorus. I don't switch. Surging Strikes and Bleak Wind KOs Incineroar and brings Landorus to low HP. Tailwind and Surging Strikes finishes off Landorus and my opponent forfeits, never seeing my final Pokemon. With 5 wins and no losses, I'm feeling good. Round 6 is against a team composition reminiscent of the early teams of the format, with Entei, Urshifu Dark, and Ogerpon Wellspring. And that means I've got a ton of experience against it. I use Urshifu, Incineroar, and Fluttermane to tear through my opponent's team game 1, and Urshifu in the Rain supported by Amoonguss game 2. With 6 wins under my belt, I only need 1 more to advance to day 2. And so far, it's been pretty smooth sailing. I've only had to play a single game 3. Can't wait for the rest of the day to go just as well. I'm paired up against Justin Karras, and we're going to be playing on stream. And if you've been paying attention, that name might sound familiar. Justin's not only one of my best friends, he also let me crash in his hotel room when I decided to come to this tournament last minute. You also might remember that I asked him to help me practice versus a specific problematic matchup. The single worst matchup for my team is Iron Crown Psyspam. Unlike the Trick Room version that's very linear and requires Trick Room to be up to win the game, Iron Crown has no such limitation. I realized that this matchup was going to be tough, so before European Internationals, I asked Justin to help me practice against it, because he'd brought a version of it to Charlotte Regionals back in January. But no matter how many games we played, I could not win. I'd take a game every now and then, but rarely a set. And even then, it was almost always because Justin was experimenting with weird leads. But this composition has fallen off in terms of popularity by a lot. So rather than make a huge structural change to my team to try and fix the matchup, I instead built a game plan that was workable but not great, improved my knowledge of the matchup, and trained my Pokemon specifically to have improved odds if I did have to play any Iron Crown. It wasn't great, but no team has a good matchup into everything. Plus, it's worth noting that Justin's team specifically was the worst version of Iron Crown possible because it had Tornadus for speed control, Urshifu Scarf, and Ogerpon Hearthflame, a problematic offensive Pokemon that could also use Follow Me to protect the crown. More modern versions of the team often used a Trick Room mode, which was a lot easier for my team to handle. So I gambled that my preparation would be enough. In Europe, I didn't play a single Iron Crown. But here's the thing, Justin was working on a different team for Orlando, but it wasn't coming together. And after seeing how much I was struggling with Iron Crown, he decided to make sure his other friends going to Europe had practice against it too, and was shocked to find that nobody was able to consistently stop the crown. So Justin decided to pivot, dropping the team he was working on in favor of Iron Crown. He also updated the team, dropping Fluttermane for Regidrago and changing his Indeedee item from Rocky Helmet to Safety Goggles, in addition to a few other changes. Now, keep in mind that my entire game plan against Iron Crown Psy Spam basically centers around me having more matchup knowledge than my opponent, putting them in situations that they haven't seen before and trying to outplay them. That doesn't work so well when the person you're playing against is the person who helped you make the game plans in the first place. As if this wasn't bad enough, my only path to victory often relied on me putting Ndidi to sleep with Spore, something not possible against Justin's version now that his Ndidi is holding the safety goggles. To sum it all up, this is the worst possible matchup being used by the worst possible opponent for me, with complete knowledge of all of my plans and a deep understanding of the—
What? Noah, did my boy White Dragon die? Nah, he's studying for exam, buddy. Iron Crown is walled and destroyed by Chiyu.
matchup and how I play.
Okay.
Here's a visual representation of how this makes me feel.
Where's Wolf going? Wolf, where are you?
Well, you know, sometimes you just get intimidated. I mean, Justin has that fantastic hat. I'm kind of
True.
intimidated behind the desk, looking at his bucket hat.
Could someone check on Wolf, please?
But even though he's my friend, I'm not just gonna give Justin the win for free. I can't remember the last time I felt like the odds were this stacked against me, but I'm not gonna give up. There's not enough time for me to build an actual game plan, so I
You gotta get on my nerves, don't you?
decide to go off the rails and make a call. I'm gonna follow my gut and pray that it works. Justin and I have played this matchup probably over 20 times, and I feel like if I show him something that he's seen before, I'll have no shot of winning. So I decide to lead with arguably the worst combination of Pokemon that I could, Tornadus and Urshifu, the two Pokemon I'm supposed to leave behind in this matchup. This isn't as dumb as it seems. I know if Justin plays from his comfort zone, he'll win. The matchup is just two in his favor. I need to put pressure on him and force him into situations that he hasn't been in before if I'm going to have any chance of taking this one. The battle starts with my Urshifu and Tornadus against Justin's Ndidi and Orange Cran. My only advantage in this matchup is that I know that Justin will lead these two Pokemon. The disadvantage is because I don't actually have a way to beat them. My very loose game plan is to use Urshifu's U-turn to put Ndidi in knockoff range and take advantage of Incineroar's dark typing to force the Iron Crown to only take one KO in exchange for one of my own, keeping the Pokemon count even. Once Ndidi goes down, this game opens up a lot, but getting rid of it without losing all my health is a struggle. Tornadus protects, and the first turn goes as well as possible. Iron Crown's Expanding Force does nothing, while Ndidi's Dazzling Gleam only does a little chip to the cat. I set Tailwind up to allow Incineroar to outspeed Iron Crown, and Knockoff takes out Ndidi as Crown's Expanding Force brings Tornadus down to its Focus Sash. And somehow, despite everything, I'm in the lead. I still have to deal with a stupid Crown though. Justin sends out Urshifu, who outspeeds my Incineroar despite my Tailwind, but Justin's Urshifu doesn't have Aqua Jet. That means Tornadus can hit it with a Bleak Wind Storm. I Terrastalize Incineroar to Grass. It does mean I give up the Psychic Immunity, but doing anything else would mean I'd lose Incineroar to Urshifu. Bleak Wind comes out and misses the Urshifu, a potential game-losing miss. Incineroar tanks the Surging Strikes and does good damage to Iron Crown, who ends the turn by firing off an Expanding Force.
There's an unfortunate Bleak Wind Storm miss there too if you're Wolf that Tornadus, considering the Focus Sash might be trained more offensively.
That's
so you
scary,
maybe expect
dude.
a lot of damage, if not a 1-hit KO into that Urshifu.
Incin
Two
has no
turns
right to
left
be
of
so
Tailwind.
cute, lol.
I need to make them count. Urshifu KOs Iron Crown with Close Combat, dropping my defenses, while Justin's Urshifu KOs my Incineroar with Surging Strikes. We're both forced into our final two Pokemon, but Justin hasn't Terrastalized yet. Justin's Urshifu Terrastalizes to Water, removing its weakness to Fairy, but with Tailwind still up, I get to move first. Close Combat doesn't KO Ogerpon, but Dazzling Gleam finishes it off. In exchange, Justin's Urshifu KOs my Fluttermane, and Tailwind ends. It's Urshifu versus Urshifu. Mine with 2 stages of reduced defense. Justin's with Terra Water and less HP. I'm not sure how much Surging Strikes is going to do after the drops and the Terra, so it might come down to whose Urshifu moves first. Is Justin's faster? Well, technically, no, because it's a speed tie. Justin didn't have a good Urshifu EV spread before the tournament, so he asked if he could use mine. And I said, of course. That means that here though, which Urshifu moves first will be decided by pure random chance.
-2 defense. This Surging Strikes, I don't know if it'll be enough because Urshifu, even at -2, has some pretty good defense. This is going to be very close though, Gabby.
This is going to be very close. We see it hit 2 times. It's just below half. We see it hit a third,
It
and it
didn't
is
go,
not
it
enough
didn't
for
go,
the
it didn't
KO.
go.
This turn, Justin's Urshifu went faster, but close combat is indeed enough damage to pick up the knockout. In return, Wolf Glick up 1 game in the set.
Somehow, despite everything,
That
I
was
won game
scary,
1.
man.
Honestly, winning
Of course, classic Reg F Shifu who speed
even a single game seems impossible. The idea that I could
Nah,
somehow
in this team, Wolfie has kept his Urshifu to be slower comparatively because he wanted his defense to be more so that he survives Raging Bolt's Thunderclap, and also so that the opposing Urshifu does a move, and then he switches his Pokemon so that it doesn't move fast, and then the next Pokemon takes the hit. Hey Odito, what's up? Welcome to the stream, buddy.
when the set feels almost
Hope you had a great day.
laughable.
Hope this
But,
stream makes it better for you.
there's a problem. I won that game by hitting Justin with both of us are gonna have to figure this one out special. And the kitchen just let me know that we just ran out. I can't think of anything else that I haven't already tried that could also actually work. Maybe Justin will over-index on the Tornadus and Urshifu lead. I'll go back to my original game plan. I know that I can make it work if I get the calls right. It'll be way harder since Justin also knows what those calls are, but it's still worth a shot. Landers and Amoonguss face off against Iron Crown and Indeedee. What do you think about this lead, Gabby?
This is not necessarily the Pokemon you want to be staring down if you're an Amoonguss.
I agree. I switch Amoonguss into Incineroar. I needed to lead with it to force Justin to follow me and not go for a helping hand because I've trained Landorus to survive Expanding Force. Earth Power does over half to Indeedee, and
Here comes that expanding force. No damage on the Incineroar, but the Landorus is just
wow.
barely able to hang on.
that went about as well as it could have, though obviously still not great. Plan here is the same as last game. Try and KO Indeedee while only giving up 1 Pokemon in exchange. Figure the rest out after. Justin terastallizes Iron Crown to water and goes for a helping hand. Earth Power brings Iron Crown below half, but Terra Water, Terra Blast KOs my Incineroar in a single hit. I'm now down 3-4 with 1 HP Landorus as one of my remaining Pokemon. But this is okay, because my final Pokemon is Fluttermane, and Iron Crown no longer resists Fairy. But there's a problem. Justin's Iron Crown is ridiculously bulky. I know firsthand from our practice, and I don't think that Dazzling Gleam's gonna do enough on its own. It's gonna need some help. I switch Landorus to Amoonguss. If Justin is the same Pokemon in the back again, I need Amoonguss on the field to protect Fluttermane from Urshifu, and I make a call. Justin isn't just gonna let me KO his Iron Crown here. I ignore it and launch Moonblast into Indeedee, and Justin protects. I knock out Indeedee and keep the Pokemon count even at 3 apiece. Justin sends out Ogerpon. Fluttermane can KO Iron Crown with Moonblast, but that won't work against Ogerpon's Follow Me. If Ogerpon goes for Follow Me, Fluttermane could go for a Dazzling Gleam, but it might not KO the Iron Crown. Unless I Terastallize to Fairy, but then Amoonguss might take an Ivy Cudgel. Do I need to make a read here? I don't think so. See, I've trained Amoonguss with Ogerpon Hearthflame in mind. I have a very good chance of surviving an Ivy Cudgel because my Amoonguss is still at full HP. So even if I call this turn wrong and Justin doesn't go for Follow Me, Terra Fairy, Dazzling Gleam, and Sludge Bomb should win me the game. The turn starts.
This Dazzling Gleam should do more than enough to pick up the KO onto the Iron Crown and does a little bit of damage as a bonus to the Ogerpon Hearthflame. But most importantly, without the Iron Crown on the field anymore, the Amoonguss is much more comfy. Could have the opportunity to go for some damage into the Ogerpon, but instead Ivy Cudgel is more than enough to pick up that KO.
He got the high roll. I knew it was possible, and I also knew that a
Oh,
critical hit
high
would do the
roll,
same
dude.
thing, but
High
man,
roll
does that
is
suck.
really scary.
If Amoonguss survives there, I win, no question. But losing it means I can't stop Justin's final Pokemon, Choice Scarf Urshifu. I was so close, but ultimately, I tried to cover for all of Justin's options and ended up losing to Chance. We're going to a game 3. Winning 1 game was a
Ooh, that's
miracle,
scary,
and being that
dude.
close to winning a second game is honestly absurd. But now, I've got no idea what to do. If I try Landorus and Amoonguss again, Justin knows what I want to go for. And thinking about it, it feels like a situation where guessing wrong means I lose immediately, whereas guessing right just means that the game continues and I'm probably still at a disadvantage. But my time is running out and I still don't know what to do. If Landorus and Amoonguss isn't gonna work, I guess I'll try Tornadus and Urshifu again. But this lead only worked because Justin hadn't seen it before. It's not actually very good here, or I would have found it in practice. I'm worried about Terra Water, Terra Blast into my Urshifu, predicting the Incineroar switch, so I decide to make a risky play. Iron Crown terastallizes to Water, as Urshifu's U-turn does under half to Indeedee. I go into Incineroar as Tornadus' Bleak Wind Storm hits both, and drops both their speeds. Iron Crown's Expanding Force drops Tornadus to Focus Sash, and Indeedee sets up Trick Room. And suddenly, those speed drops have cost me the game. With Tornadus down to Focus Sash, my only hope was using Incineroar to disrupt in Trick Room. But because Justin's Iron Crown is so bulky, it's also very slow. With the speed drop, the fastest Pokemon in Trick Room is Iron Crown. And that means Helping Hand Terra Blast can KO me before I can even move. Even without the speed drops, this was going to be tough. In bringing Urshifu and Tornadus, I've left behind Amoonguss, my best answer to Trick Room. I'm forced to Terastallize Incineroar as Justin switches Indeedee out for Tornadus. And even though I correctly predict the Terra Blast, this play seals my fate. Without the Psychic immunity, I no longer have any Pokemon that can take Expanding Force. Expanding Force tears through my team, and by the time Trick Room ends, all I have left is a low HP Fluttermane. I lose the game and the set. Even though I lost, I'm not upset. Obviously, losing isn't fun, but losing to a friend means you can be happy for them. Plus, there's no shame in losing to a good player. I'm happy for Justin, and honestly, I'm proud of myself for getting so close given how bad that matchup was. If you want to hear Justin's perspective on the match and this tournament as a whole, he actually made a really great video about it. Just be aware that it'll spoil things that happen in this video if you go watch it now. Really, the bigger issue with losing to Justin is my stamina. I was thinking so hard trying to win that I swear steam was about to start coming out of my ears. And by going on stream and playing 3 games, there isn't time to rest before the next round goes up. At this point in the day, I am really starting to feel the lack of sleep and all the travel. But the good news is any match I have to play next is going to seem easy in comparison to Justin's team. You're not going to believe this. My round 8 opponent has Justin's exact team. Well, okay, technically this is the older version with Fluttermane instead of Regidrago, which is actually worse for me because Regidrago should never come to this matchup, but Fluttermane can. This is absurd. This is not a common team at all, and I probably drew the only 2 players with it in back-to-back rounds. And my current opponent isn't like a friend of Justin's or anything. This is a total coincidence, and one that could end in disaster. Even worse, there are a few key differences between the teams. This one has Speed Booster, Calm Mind, Terra Psychic Iron Crown, instead of the special attack boosting Terra Water one Justin had. But mentally, I've already been stretched to my limit. Adjusting to how these small variations impact the bigger picture of the matchup is something that's difficult when you're firing on all cylinders, let alone when you're running on fumes. I lose game 1 on the first turn. Well, okay, not technically, like the game doesn't literally end, but my Amoonguss gets critical hit and loses too much health for me to stop the barrage of Terra Psychic Expanding Forces. My notes on the remaining games are really bad. Like all I can figure out is that Amoonguss put a lot of Pokemon to sleep. So I'm sorry to say that I cannot tell you how I won, but somehow I pulled it off. This is what Yuki said about it, so good job past me. And then I lose the last round of the day. It was versus a friend of my round 2 opponent, the one with that annoying Tinglu Dindozo Dragonite team that was really tough for me to break. I lose the first game after nearly 20 full minutes, and despite winning the second game, I just don't have the stamina left to close it out after back-to-back 3-game sets against my worst matchup. It is close, but I lose, meaning I end the day with 7 wins and 2 losses. And okay, honestly, I am kind of upset about it. Going from 6-0 to 7-2.
No worries. I'm actually learning things here. It's not like I'm just using his content to do anything. Don't worry, Damichu. I've been in this field for like more than half a year, so I know what's gonna work, what's not gonna work. So don't worry. Got you covered.
Just feels really bad, and I'm beating myself up a little until Dr. Aaron Trailer messages me and says, going 7-2 on 3 hours of sleep is insane. And then I feel a little bit better. Thanks, Dr. Aaron. I head to Revolving Sushi with my friends, and folks, let me just tell you, it was a bad day to be a piece of salmon. Then we went to the Rita's Italian Ice that was next door, where I pulled off truly one of the worst ordering attempts I think anyone has probably ever done in that building. And then at like 10 p.m., I went home, hopped in the shower, put my little sleep mask on, and passed out. With like 9 hours of sleep under my belt and a body that has absorbed the nutrients of so much sushi, plus an order of concrete from Rita's, I feel much better going into day 2. Funny how that works. If I want to guarantee making it into the top cut, I'll need to win all 6 rounds today. There's no room for error. Round 10 pairs me up against a team that's familiar, in a bad way, like seeing an old teacher who didn't like you very much. It's the team Alex Gomez used at the European Internationals, the team that ultimately eliminated me from the tournament. But after losing, I spent a lot of time thinking about the matchup. This time I'm prepared, and it shows. I win the set in 2 games, though they weren't easy. A big part of why I lost last time was leading the wrong Pokemon. By leading Incineroar and Amoonguss, I'm able to make things a lot easier for myself. Round 11 is another Echo of Europe, as I'm paired against a Rain team just like I was in round 11 of that tournament. This one's even scarier, with Covert Cloak Thunderous that can shut down my Amoonguss, Landorus, and Fluttermane. But I'm locked in, and I play exceptionally well, getting several hard reads right, and ultimately winning the set in 2 games. Round 12 is a lot less
really
smooth. I lose game 1, and then as I'm about to win game 2, we disconnect, and the game is ruled as if it never happened. So I need to win 2 more games in order to win the set. Somehow, I pull it off and keep myself in contention. Round 13 is a really weird set. My opponent's team is a little strange, featuring Mousehold and Glamora. Game 1, I get very lucky as Amoonguss puts everything to sleep, and every Pokemon gets near max sleep turns. In game 2, I take 2 KOs on the first turn and don't lose a Pokemon, and somehow lose the game. I truly do not know how, but Tornadus missing every Bleak Wind probably didn't help. In game 3, I once again get a big lead, but my opponent claws their way back into it with hard read after hard read, and Tornadus once again misses every Bleak Wind. I wrote in my notes that Tornadus missed 7 out of 8 Bleak Winds in this set. In the end,
Oh
it
my
comes down
god,
to whether or
that's
not
scary. Huh? Noah, off the remix you got 61 remix on one shot. Wait, did I get 61k remix, or I did a shot? I did use the music which had 61k remix. I don't know. Which reel do you mean by that? Bro is analyzing. Yo, White Dragon, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining in. What do you mean by remix, dude? Hey White Dragon, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining in, buddy. Hope you had a great day of the streaming. Are you participating in tomorrow's tournament, though? White, are you participating in the tomorrow's tournament? Check showdown quick. What do you mean by check showdown quick? What happened? I'm in the showdown only. Arey, nah, buddy. I'm not playing. Right now, I'm not gonna play. Chill. Right now, I'm not gonna play. You can join me later when I'm playing with this thing. Right now, I'm actually stuck with this. I have to, analyze stuff. I have to write down a lot of notes. I'm working on a video with this, so hold it.
Fluttermane Moonblast will KO my mid set. In the end, it comes down to whether or not their Fluttermane Moonblast will KO my middling HP Fluttermane. I think I'll take it unless they crit, except they don't go for it. Rather than protecting on the last turn of Tailwind, they just let me knock them out. I win game 3 and the set. 2 rounds left. If I win both of them, I'll make it into the final 8 players. Round 14 will be on stream, and the matchup is scary. My opponent has Blood Moon Ursaluna, a Pokemon I don't have any defensive answers for. But looking at their team, I can't help but notice it's really slow. Like, even without speed control, every Pokemon is slower than Fluttermane, and there's no resistance to Fairy. I think I want to start this game with a boss battle. My Amoonguss and Fluttermane are facing off against Ursaluna and Ogerpon. My opponent protects both their Pokemon turn 1 to try and catch a Protect or Terastallization, but I don't go for it, instead attacking with both my Pokemon. Ursaluna is forced to switch out, as it's the most important Pokemon on my opponent's side, and Incineroar switches in. but Flutter's Dazzling Gleam does good damage to both of their Pokemon. Ogerpon fires back with Ivy Cudgel, but Fluttermane just barely hangs on thanks to the way that I trained it. Sludge Bomb drops Ogerpon to extremely low HP and leaves it stuck on the field, not even offering a free switch. Ogerpon protects, but because this Incineroar isn't holding the safety goggles, it can't ignore the Rage Powder. Dazzling Gleam drops it even lower, and although it fires back with a Flare Blitz into Amoonguss, Amoonguss hangs on and Incineroar goes down to the recoil. I'm up 4-3 as Ursaluna re-enters the field. Ogerpon switches out. Despite the low HP, my opponent feels pressured to save it in case I have Urshifu in the back. Amoonguss protects as Fluttermane's Dazzling Gleam does almost half to both Pokemon, and finally goes down to Ursaluna's Hyper Voice. I think the commentator, Len, put the position really nicely here.
I mean, I think Wolf has spent the Fluttermane in a way that clearly he wanted to use it. Got it on the field, was not very protective of it, let it take an Ivy Cudgel, let it eventually go down to a Hyper Voice, but used it to just spread damage around the team. The Incineroar is gone. The Ogerpon is at very low health. The Farigiraf and the Ursaluna have both been chunked down to over 50%, and all Wolf's really spent for that is the entire Fluttermane and the chunk of Amoonguss' health bar, and there's still two unrevealed Pokemon ready to come in, and Urshifu is the perfect one to just come in and put a ton of pressure on this. You don't even necessarily have to risk walking into Surging Strikes to go after these Pokemon because close combat might be enough damage to KO any of the three, and with no ability to protect against that, you're just picking up a KO really before Donghoon can react and trying to extend to the lead.
The beauty of Amoonguss here is that my opponent really needs to set Trick Room up to get away from Urshifu, but doing so would make Amoonguss the fastest Pokemon on the field. I realize I can create a pin. If I use Rage Powder and attack into Ursaluna, I can ensure that either Trick Room doesn't go up or Amoonguss stays alive. So that's what I do. And Ursaluna stays in and goes down to close combat as Amoonguss redirects the Psychic and goes down. But even though the Pokemon score is even, my team's insane speed advantage means I'm always going to win this. Close combat KOs Ogerpon, and even though Farigiraf KOs Urshifu in exchange, there's no way for it to beat my Terra Steel Landorus. I win game 1. But even though Fluttermane was so good there, I decide to switch things up. My guess is my opponent's plan will be to use Ogerpon and Ursaluna as the lead again, but this time focus on getting rid of my Fluttermane. So I'm going to lead with Urshifu and Incineroar to try and put Ursaluna in range of Dazzling Gleam so I can later finish with Fluttermane and Amoonguss. The leads are what I expected, Ursaluna and Ogerpon. My opponent switches Ogerpon to Incineroar, making my Fake Out useless, and terastallizes Ursaluna to normal. Surging Strikes doesn't even do half, and Blood Moon Ursaluna fires back with a huge, well, Blood Moon, KOing my Incineroar in one hit. But even though this turn looks really bad for me, it's actually better than you'd think, because Ursaluna is now in range of Dazzling Gleam, and terastallization is off the table. My opponent switches Ursaluna into Ogerpon, understanding that he needs it to win. I terastallize Fluttermane to Fairy, and KO Incineroar with Surging Strikes, as Dazzling Gleam does huge damage to Ogerpon. Farigiraf comes out, and Trick Room looks appealing against both of my fast Pokemon, but that's not fast.
Analyzing Wolfie analysis. You got me there, Black. You got me there.
Factoring in the little mushroom I have.
What's up? Welcome to the stream, by the way. Thank you so much for joining in, buddy. Hope you had a great day. Hope the stream makes it better for you.
I switch Urshifu to Amoonguss and KO Ogerpon with Dazzling Gleam as Farigiraf sets up Trick Room. And now things look pretty good, right? Amoonguss is the fastest Pokemon and can spore both of my opponents. Right? Well, remember at the beginning of this video how I said that nobody would want their Amoonguss to be as fast as mine because I'm exactly as fast as the slowest Ursaluna Blood Moon? About that. I have no idea how slow this Ursaluna is, but if it's minimum speed, whoever moves first will be decided by pure random chance. I protect both my Pokemon to try and bait out a Protect, and Ursaluna takes the bait, wasting its Protect. Now it all comes down to who moves first, the mushroom or the bear. The turn starts and Amoonguss moves
Let's
first.
go.
Spore hits Ursaluna, using Trick Room against my opponent, and the game is sealed. Ursaluna goes down to Fluttermane, and my opponent forfeits. In all honesty, I actually suspect that this wasn't a speed tie. I technically moved first twice because Protect happens in turn order, and not only is it difficult to get a minimum speed Ursaluna because you have to go through a stupid cutscene every time you want to try and catch one, but also I think it makes sense that most players would prefer to be just barely above minimum speed in order to outspeed other Ursaluna without needing to set up Trick Room. That being said, I don't know for sure. It's entirely possible that I just happen to win 2 speed ties. I'm 5 wins.
Bro, I think you should do it offline, not on stream. Why? What's wrong when doing in the stream resolve? Is it bothering you much?
wins and 0 losses on the day. 12 wins, 2 losses total. If I win this last round, I'll be guaranteed to advance. I lose. I win game 1 cleanly and then lose game 2 on a bleak wind miss into a crucial 1-turn wake up into a bleak wind hit that critical hits Amoonguss, all of which was necessary. In game 3, I play down to an end game that I think I should win. Ogerpon Wellspring against my Amoonguss and I have like 60% health left. I take an Ivy Cudgel and fire back with Sludge Bomb, doing about 55% but not getting the poison. I survive a second Ivy Cudgel, launch a Sludge Bomb, and it survives with 1 HP, and I don't poison. The only way I lose this game is probably with the absolute minimum roll possible and no critical hit and no poison. And just like that, I'm out of guaranteed contention. Guaranteed contention. Now my finish is out of my hands. This is the exact same situation I was in Europe. 12 wins, 3 losses, fate in the hands of the tiebreaker. Pokemon's tiebreaker is convoluted, confusing, and fundamentally broken.
Wait, he said that previous round he has to win how many? 6 and then no 7, and the next one he has to win 6, right?
All of this is to say,
win
it's the
that.
greatest tiebreaker system of all time, baby! Guess who's advanced into the final stage of the tournament? Thank you, Mr. Pikachu, for designing such a great system. I've never doubted your wisdom. Even better, Justin.
Well, after this video, I'll be playing with the same team what Wolf is playing right here. That's the whole point. And I did even say that it's a practice for this thing. The whole point was that. So, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Take it as however you want.
Made top 8 as well, and we're on opposite sides of the bracket. If we both keep winning, we'll have a rematch in finals. Not good for my chances of winning the tournament, but worth it anyway. But I can't think about finals yet. I might not make it past my first opponent. They have a team with a really problematic core. Urshifu, Rillaboom, Raging Bolt, and Ogerpon Hearthflame. Plus, I have to worry about Screamtail, who can really mess me up if I'm not careful. The battle starts with my Incineroar and Tornadus against their Urshifu and Rillaboom. I was trying to catch the Ogerpon out, but it didn't work. I'm forced to switch Amoonguss in for Tornadus and go for a Terra Grass with Incineroar. Good against the current threat of Urshifu.
What? Chat rushing to build the anti-Wolfie team.
Amoonguss in for Tornadus and go for a Terra Grass with Incineroar. Good against the current threat of Urshifu, bad against Ogerpon. Fake Out stops Incineroar from moving as Amoonguss takes the Surging Strike.
You're gonna play the team Wolfie uses, bro. Do some original. Arre Resolve, we are not getting the whole concept here. So I see that at this point, no, how much ever I explain, you're gonna create up the whole summary of another question. So I just pretend like I didn't see that, and I will just continue things what I'm doing right now. Not being disrespectful for you, but respecting my own patience, I'm just doing this. Okay, cool.
They double switch. Fake Out stops Incineroar from moving as Amoonguss takes the Surging Strikes. They double switch, bringing an Ogerpon out, but it didn't work. I'm forced to switch Amoonguss in for Tornadus and go for a Terra Grass with Incineroar. Good against the current threat of Urshifu, bad against Ogerpon. Fake Out stops Incineroar from moving as Amoonguss takes the Surging Strikes. They double switch, bringing an Ogerpon for Urshifu and Raging Bolt for Rillaboom. But I predicted the switch and launch a parting shot into the clear Amulet Rillaboom. If they'd stayed in, the move would have failed. Tornadus comes back in, and Amoonguss' Sludge Bomb drops Ogerpon to below half. I protect both Pokemon, trying to bait Protect, but instead getting the Ogerpon to Terrastalize. But now, Ogerpon isn't in range of Bleak Wind Storm because it's not weak to Ogerpon to below would have failed. Tornadus comes back in, and Amoonguss' Sludge Bomb drops Ogerpon to below half. I protect both Pokemon, trying to bait Protect, but instead getting the Ogerpon to Terrastalize. But now, Ogerpon isn't in range of Bleak Wind Storm because it's not weak to flying anymore. I sacrifice Incineroar as Bleak Wind misses Raging Bolt and just barely doesn't KO Ogerpon, and get extremely lucky as the 95% accurate Electro Web misses Tornadus. Landorus hits the field. I expect Ogerpon to Protect, but I'm wrong. I go for Rain Dance to try and avoid a Bleak Wind drop, but my opponent doubles into my Landorus as Earth Power fails to KO the Raging Bolt. If I can just get rid of this Raging Bolt, Bleak Wind Storm should close out the game. I switch Torn into Amoonguss as Raging Bolt switches into Rillaboom, and I make a misplay. Ogerpon Spiky shields, but instead of going for Sludge Bomb, I go for Earth Power. Just a lazy play because Sludge Bomb would have KO'd the Bolt from that range too. I sacrificed Landorus to get a Spore onto Ogerpon. I'm now down 2 against 4, but I think I can still win this. Rillaboom breaks Tornadus' Focus Sash, but Bleakwind Storm KOs both. And suddenly it's a 2 against 2. Now the question is, will Raging Bolt go for Thunderclap? If it does, it can KO Tornadus before it moves. I make the call. It won't. The turn starts and Tornadus moves first, hitting both with Bleakwind Storm.
Bleakwind Storm comes out though. It does do super effective damage into Urshifu, bring it down to its Focus Sash. Does not KO Raging Bolt here, and now they will both have a chance to attack.
Zachary unable to go for a Thunderclap on the off chance that Amoonguss went for a
That's
Rage
pretty
Powder,
scary.
but with the offense, able to return a KO onto the Tornadus. Wolf is down to just that Amoonguss. Dragon Pulse brings Amoonguss down into the yellow. Sludge Bomb, though, will connect with the Raging Bolt, and it holds on with a single hit point.
Oh, that is crazy. Zachary has 2 Pokemon at 1 HP before the grassy terrain.
Hey Suguru, what's up? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Thank you so much for joining and hope you had a great day. Hope this stream makes a bit for you.
One with a Focus Sash and one with the invisible Focus Sash.
No poison, no critical hit, and what was very likely a bad damage roll. And even though each of them only has 1 HP left, in Pokemon that's enough. That Bleakwind Storm miss earlier ended up being a much bigger deal than I realized at the time. Being down a game in a bad matchup feels really, really bad. But the set isn't over yet, and I made a couple mistakes. Being forced to Terastallize Incineroar early really hurt me, and leading in a way that forced me to switch out turn 1 was definitely not ideal. But did I actually need to switch? I tried to save Torn to the end to clean up, but maybe I can do better than that. I decided to stick to my game plan. Incineroar and Tornadus lead. And it's the same lead from my opponent. Rillaboom fakes out Incineroar, but this time Tornadus goes for Bleakwind Storm, and it misses Rillaboom. It does bring Urshifu down to its Focus Sash though, and that was the more important target to hit. And my Tornadus survives the Surging Strikes, something I specifically trained it to do. If I'd hit both Bleakwind Storms, I'd be in great shape, but again, hitting the Urshifu was all that really mattered. See, both Urshifu and Rillaboom have priority moves that can KO Tornadus before it attacks. Or they can if I click Bleakwind Storm. Not if I click Tailwind.
No Pokemon switching out this turn. Instead, it's a Tailwind setup on the Tornadus' final turn on the field.
Tailwind goes up and Tornadus goes down. Grassy Light is enough to confirm that KO, and we should see Incineroar able to attack first. Knockoff into Urshifu is enough damage.
Urshifu was one of the biggest threats to my team, and even though I won't have Tornadus for the rest of this battle, getting rid of Urshifu and setting up Tailwind is a trade that works in my favor. And now we're in the position that I wanted. Landorus and Tailwind against Pokemon that can't protect, but they can Terastallize. Rillaboom is Terra Poison. If I try and knock it out with Sludge Bomb and it Terras, my move will do no damage and it'll be able to fire back. Of course, I could also KO Raging Bolt with a double attack if I wanted, but that could Terra too. Which Pokemon's gonna go for it? Or are they going to try and save Terra to maximize Ogerpon's damage output?
Wolf with Steel typing onto the Landorus Incarnate. A interesting choice for sure, but Zachary as well opting to use his Terastallization this turn, and interestingly enough, it's actually the Rillaboom. So the Raging Bolt is still going to be weak to Earth Power, but Rillaboom now with its Poison typing will not be as threatened by... What a call! That was an Earth Power into Rillaboom. Had Rillaboom not Terastallized that turn, it would have resisted the damage. What an incredible read from Wolf!
No way,
that was a crazy
read.
read,
It makes sense
dude.
too, because Flare Blitz there probably also targeting the Rillaboom, which would have allowed it to KO afterwards anyway. But that Earth Power is a massive, massive read, because now the Dragon Pulse coming into Incineroar, it does even a pretty good chunk of damage, a critical hit there, but Rillaboom did not get the chance to attack.
World Champ difference, baby. You want to buy them?
The World Champ difference, baby.
Hit there, but Rillaboom did not get the chance to attack.
World Champ difference, baby. Buy the merch. Ooh, you want to buy the merch so bad. Ooh. Despite that play, the game actually still isn't over. There's only 2 turns of Tailwind left, and if Ogerpon can get a double protect, it can KO the rest of my Pokemon. So the obvious call here is to double the Raging Bolt to KO it because it can't protect, and hope to deal with the Ogerpon after. But if I make a play like that and I get it wrong, I'll lose. Should I make another aggressive call? No. The easiest way to let my opponent back into this game is to
World champ
ignore the
difference,
Ogre
baby.
Pawn. I lock in Sludge Bomb, and Spiky Shield doesn't come out. Sludge Bomb KOs the Ogre Pawn, a fact only made possible by
Yo,
I
what,
get it
what,
wrong,
what,
it can
what,
KO the
what?
rest of my over. There's only 2 turns of Tailwind left, and if Ogre Pawn can get a double protect, it can KO the rest of my Pokemon. So the obvious call here is to double the Raging Bolt to KO it because it can't protect, and hope to deal with the Ogre Pawn after. But if I make a play like that and I get it wrong, I'll lose. Should I make another aggressive call? No. The easiest way to let my opponent back into this game is to ignore the Ogre Pawn. I lock in Sludge Bomb, and Spiky Shield doesn't come out. Sludge Bomb KOs the Ogre Pawn, a fact only made possible by Tornadus' parting gift of Tailwind, and suddenly up 3-1. I know I've won this game. We're going to game 3. I don't want to lead Incineroar and Tornadus again, because I think that's what my opponent will be expecting. Just like in the set versus Justin, I want to keep them on their toes. So I decided to switch it up and go with my fallback comfort lead, Amoonguss and Incineroar. I didn't want to do this earlier because I was worried about them leading Ogerpon. But after leading Tornadus twice, I really don't think that Ogerpon is very likely. And I'm right. My opponent leads off with Urshifu and Rillaboom for the 3rd time. The battle starts and we trade Fake Out. But this is better for me as it breaks Urshifu's Focus Sash, at least for now. And whether because the Sash is broken or because they're worried about Spore, Urshifu protects. Rillaboom's high horsepower brings Incineroar below half, but I doubled into Rillaboom, using Flare Blitz and Sludge Bomb for a KO. And the reason I wanted to get rid of Rillaboom is its ability. Grassy Terrain being up means Ogerpon's Grassy Glide has both priority and a damage boost. If I can just make it through 3 more turns, it'll lose that advantage. Ogerpon comes out. I Terrastalize Amoonguss as Ogerpon Swords Dances and Urshifu KOs Incineroar, but Amoonguss puts Urshifu to sleep. I send out Torn. I need it to deal with Ogerpon or things are going to get really, really messy. Ogerpon Terrastalizes to fire, getting a 3rd attack boost, but Amoonguss protects and blocks the Grassy Glide. But Tornadus' Bleakwind Storm misses Ogerpon. It at least does drop
that's
Urshifu down to its
actually
focus set.
bad.
With 1 turn left of Grassy Terrain, I'm forced to let Amoonguss go down. It's done its job by disabling the Urshifu. I'm leaving the rest of this game up to the genies. Bleakwind comes out and hits both, finishing off the Urshifu. And just like that, each of us is down to our final 2 Pokemon, Tornadus and Landorus. Legendary Pokemon from Generation 5 against Ogerpon and Raging Bolt, legendary Pokemon from Generation 9. The
Nice.
strongest legendary Pokemon in history versus the strongest legendary Pokemon of today. And with Landorus hitting both Pokemon for super effective damage, this probably looks like it's in my favor. The thing is, getting this next turn wrong will lose me the game. The obvious play here is to go for Tailwind and Earth Power into the Ogerpon. But if it's Spiky Shields, 2 Dragon Pulses will do enough to KO Landorus, and then there's no way for Torn to beat Raging Bolt. So the second most obvious play is to protect with both of my Pokemon to try and bait out the Spiky Shield. And then if they just attack, we get to play the same guessing game again next turn. But my opponent has been playing well, and so I think that they're going to expect me to go for the safer move of protecting both my Pokemon. And if that's the case, they should always attack. So even though I'll lose if I get it wrong, I gamble everything on Ogerpon attacking.
Ivy Cudgel with the Landorus. That could be game over for Wolf. We're going to take a moment.
Genie
set up
come,
Tailwind.
baby.
Power will target down that Ogerpon for the knockout. Now Wolf is just 1 Pokemon KO away from moving on to yet another top 4 placement at the regional championships. Dragon Pulse from Raging Bolt though will find the connection with the Landorus, but it's not enough to pick up that knockout.
Now surely this is a winning position.
I love using Torno and Lando in Regif with Rain Dance. Oh, that's actually a crazy setup because even Landorus has a Sand Stream or something like of a move which doesn't miss in the rain.
Right?
If
I'm
I'm
up 2
not
against
wrong,
1.
right.
Both my Pokemon are faster, and Landorus does huge damage. Surely I win this, right? Well, it's actually not over. We know Earth Power doesn't KO Raging Bolt, so I could go for Protect and Rain Dance to try and guarantee that my Bleakwinds connect. But if my opponent predicts this and targets Torn, it'll come down to whether Earth Power and 1 Bleakwind Storm will do enough.
You're saying Raging Bolt is average? Black, you're saying Raging Bolt is average?
The middle ground play of Substitute and Rain Dance, which would win if they attack into either Genie, but this Raging Bolt has Snarl, a move that ignores Substitute. If they go for it, it could KO and I would lose on the spot. It's a guessing game, and I don't know what I should do. With time running out, I decide the simplest answer is probably the best one. I attack with both my Pokemon, and Bleakwind Storm misses. At the most crucial time in the entire tournament, it missed. And Earth Power leaves Raging Bolt with enough HP that whether or not another Bleakwind's gonna KO is unclear, but probably not likely, and Raging Bolt finishes off Landorus. Protect or substitute with Landorus would have worked, but I overthought it and paid the price. And now the entire game comes down to my final genie. Tornadus! It's your dream too, isn't it? You want to win too, right?
Yep.
Prove to the world why you're called a force of nature and hit this Bleakwind!
We need to see here is another
Okay,
Bleakwind
there's one.
Storm miss.
Oh, it's enough.
but it
There you
connects
go.
with the
Oh
Raging
my
Bolt for the
God.
KO. Wolf Flick winning a
Both have Storm move, which is 100% accurate in rain. That's why the tail. That's why also Tailwind with Tornadus. Yeah.
against Zachary Weed in top 8 here to move on to top 4 of the Orlando Regional
Oh my
Championship.
God.
I found out after the fact that the odds of Tornadus KOing with this hit were exactly 1 in 16. 15 out of 16 times, that Bleakwind doesn't do enough damage. But in this timeline, it did. And I'm advancing to the semi-finals. I have a little bit of a break, so I meet up with some friends to talk game plans, including Justin. He also won his quarterfinal.
Wait, what if we had gone for Thunderclap, chat? What if instead of pressing the Dragon Breath, would it be effective though? Chat, what do you think? Instead of Dragon Breath, if Thunderclap was used, would it have KO'd it? It doesn't kill. Okay, cool.
Finals match. If we both win in semis, we'll be playing in finals. My semifinal match is first, and he's played my opponent this tournament, so we focus on figuring out my matchup
sure
first.
it doesn't
There's
kill?
good news and bad news. The bad news is I'm playing against Ben Grismer. He's a player I have immense respect for. He uses
No, not on Landorus, buddy. I'm asking. See, does this guy looks like Landorus? Does this guy looks like Landorus? I don't think was it a choice picks because yeah, it might be choice picks also. Yeah, it might be choice picks also because he was like literally on the dragon breath stuff.
Justin. He also won his quarterfinals
Right, if I'm
match.
not wrong.
If we both win in semis, we'll be playing in finals. My semifinal match is first, and he's played my opponent this tournament, so we focus on figuring out my matchup first. There's good news and bad news. The bad news is I'm playing against Ben Grismer. He's a player I have immense respect for. He uses unconventional Pokemon and strategies and pushes them to their limits. And he's really hard to play against. The good news is he's using Trick Room Psy Spam.
I'm saying that Torn would have died, but Lando would have killed the next turn. Nah, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the last move. Last move, he pressed Dragon Breath, right, in front of the Bleaking Storm, and that made Wolfie win. But instead of Dragon Breath, if he had clicked on Thunderclap, would it have it would have priority move, it would have moved faster than you know the what I'm it was Sash Ton and it was AV Bolt. No point in Thunderclapping as it never kills since Sash. Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, but there were chances actually predictably. If it was Assault West Bolt, see the chances. I'll be telling the chances. See, Thunderclapping would break its stash, right? And what if the Bleaking Storm actually didn't KO it? It didn't KO it, and still he has a chance right now. So that's the whole point of what I was thinking around. Like, there are chances. Yeah, that's what. If Teak Thunderclap and Bleaking Wind didn't kill, that's the whole point. What was the question about? This Hatterin mechanic still concurs me this day. Oh my god, I do remember this one because I had Hatterin, not Hatterin, NDD. Yeah, I did hit Hatterin. I think I played with Wolfie's one of the teams. What he was building for one of the PokeTuber. He was teaching them how to play.
On paper, this looks like a completely abysmal matchup for my team. In fact, I'm pretty confident that if Ben had played against my team every single round up until now, he would probably be undefeated, but he hasn't played against me. Remember how I said that the weakness of this archetype is the linearity of its game plans? Ben
Well, the turn after you thunderclap if he has it. Well, see, the whole point was. Wait, let me show that 1 second. See, this was the whole point here, right?
raging bull. Entire game
This was the whole point. If we had used thunderclap here, I think it's assault vest, right? So he's not actually pinpointed to move one choice specs wise. So if we did a thunderclap and his Bleaking Storm actually didn't do it and he was on the stash, another thunderclap would have done the game. That's what I was thinking. That's the whole question was. Because he said that his Bleaking Storm out of 1 out of 16 he got a high crit roll, so that's why it died, or else it would have survived it. So 2 thunderclap would have killed Tornadus is what I was trying to say, Zach. I think that was the whole question what I had. But yeah, it is also about the predictability. See, getting 1 out of 16 high roll was a crazy thing. What is bro trying to run? What do you mean by that?
He's using Trick Room Psy Spam. On paper, this looks like a completely abysmal matchup for my team. In fact,
Yeah, he did. Dude, he literally had T clap. See, it's literally shown here. 1 second.
And now the entire
See, literally is there. Like above Snarl, there's a thunderclap, which is 8 out of 8. It is still there. And he's clinged on to moving Dragon Pulse. I don't know why. Because he knew that this has a focus dash. And still he did it. That was the whole question right now. If he knew that Bleaking... Yeah, no. We are just using our brains, bro. Oh, okay. 1 second. My bad. Give me a moment. Okay, as you can see here, there is thunderclap. There's a thunderclap here, right here, thunderclap, and sorry, my bad. So you can see here, he has Electro Web, he has Dragon Pulse, he has thunderclap, he has Snarl, and Electro Web is 15 out of 15, 8 out of 10, which I think he used Dragon Pulse on Landers to kill it with the 2 moves, and thunderclap is still there. So I thought, like, because it's a flying type, if he uses thunderclap, which is super effective again, it would have got him till focus dash, and if the Bleaking Storm didn't do the high crit roll, he would have done the thunderclap again, because Wolfie doesn't have any option to play the safe game here. So he has to go for an attack. He does the thunderclap. That's done and dusted, dude. That's what I asked. So well, yeah. Bro, what if bro misclicked? I have no idea, bro. I don't know why Dragon exists over there also.
this can be is the linear undefeated, but he hasn't played against me.
Let's continue
Remember how I
that.
said
Let's
that the
continue
weakness of
that.
this
But
archetype is
that
the
was actually a
linearity?
crazy question sessions we had. That was a crazy one.
Defeated, but he hasn't played against me. Remember how I said that the weakness of this archetype is the linearity of its game plans? Ben doesn't just have to beat me, he has to beat all of the past Wolves who played out the different ways the game can develop. Playing a good player using a strategy like this can be terrifying because they're so aware of every possible prediction or call out that they can make. But there is a downside too. By using a linear strategy like this one, there's only so much control that you can have over the game, and almost no amount of skill can save a Trick Room team once it's locked out of Trick Room. There is one complicating factor though. Ben's Indeedee has the move Healing Wish. This move knocks out the user and restores the health of whatever switches in. It's actually not the healing that's the problem, it's the knockout. My normal game plan against this team's standard Indeedee Hatterini lead is to use Landorus to set up a substitute and Amoonguss to terrestrialize to water and Spore Indeedee. But if Ben uses Healing Wish, Spore will be redirected into Hatterini, activating its magic bounce ability and putting my now water type Amoonguss to sleep. So I spend the time I have updating my flowchart, and when it's time for the match, I feel ready.
Wait, what was that?
If Ben uses normal game plan against this team's standard Indeedee Hatterini lead is to use Landorus to set up a substitute and Amoonguss to terrestrialize to water and Spore Indeedee. But if Ben uses Healing Wish, Spore will be redirected into Hatterini.
Huh? Oh yeah, Spore will be redirected to Hatterini. Hatterini has a magic bounce that will bounce back to Amoonguss. Ooh, but his entity dies. But his entity dies. Why does his entity dies if he's using a healing wish? Why the hell does he entity die? It goes next incoming goes because entity died. Yeah, but how did entity die? He didn't. He just poured entity, right? What the fudge is healing wish now? It's the move, yeah. But what does it? Oh my god, this is so complicated, chat. This is so fucking complicated. Give me a moment. Smogon, healing wish. Okay. The user faints and the Pokemon brought out of to its place. It has its HP fully restored, along with having any non-volatile status condition cured. The Pokemon is sent out at the end of the turn. The healing happens before hazards take effect. Fails if the user has the last unfitted Pokemon in its party. Z healing wish. No Z. What? What? Oh, healing wish is a sacrifice. Okay, cool. Bro, Downser know his move. What? Okay. Oh, that's crazy. See, if he hadn't done the Terra, makes sense. He did Terra Water, so the Spore did effect on Amoonguss. Oh my god, that's fucking crazy.
DD. But if Ben uses Healing Wish, Spore will be redirected into Hatterini, activating its Magic Bounce ability and putting my now Water-type Amoonguss to sleep. So I spend the time I have updating my flowchart, and when it's time for the match, I feel ready. Amoonguss and Landorus against Indeedee and Hatterene. The battle starts and I launch Sludge Bomb with both my Pokemon. This covers for a Healing Wish play and also leaves the Indeedee alive, something I do intentionally. These hard Trick Room teams aim to overwhelm the opponent before the 5 turns in Trick Room expire. So
Bro felt like a caveman. I felt like I was under a rock, dude. What the fudge was that? It took me time to realize it.
leaving the support Pokemon alive is a great way to stifle their momentum. Now, I could protect both my Pokemon here, but I can't risk Choice Specs Torkoal or Choice Band Urshifu coming in. So I go for a middle ground play. I Terrastallize Amoonguss to water and protect Landorus, as Indeedee goes for a Follow Me, and Hatterene launches an Expanding Force. But my Amoonguss has more Special Bulk than most, and the Citrus Berry to boot, and so I'm not in range of another Expanding Force. Spore puts Indeedee to sleep, and a second turn in Trick Room ends. Only 3 left. Once again, I could protect both my Pokemon, but I can't let Ben get a free switch in. Instead, I attack, and Ben's Hatterene's Expanding Force fails to KO either Pokemon. My Spore goes into Indeedee, failing because it's already asleep, but it was worth it to cover for a potential switch and keep this Indeedee stuck on the field. And Landorus' Sludge Bomb KOs Hatterene. Only 2 turns left in Trick Room, and I still have all 4 Pokemon. Ben likely has Torkoal and Urshifu in the back, his 2 sweepers. Torkoal's better here because it can KO both my Pokemon in 1 move, but with only 2 turns left of Trick Room and Protect active on both of my Pokemon, he's instead forced to go into Urshifu. I can Spore the Urshifu, but it has Terra Grass, and Ben's been playing so safe. I just don't think he's gonna let me Spore. I'll go for Sludge Bomb. Ben switches Indeedee to Torkoal, and he Terrastalizes Urshifu to Grass. Sludge Bomb does over half, but Urshifu KOs Landorus, keeping the Pokemon count even at 3 apiece. And there's still 1 turn left of Trick Room. I go into Tornadus and protect both my Pokemon. It doesn't block Urshifu, but it does ensure I either get full HP Tornadus or 3 Pokemon still alive. Ben opts to bring Tornadus down to Focus Sash, but Trick Room ends, and the speed is back in my favor. Bleak Wind hits both, KOing Urshifu, and Torkoal falls asleep thanks to the Spore. And even though both my Pokemon have low HP, both Ben's Pokemon are asleep, and the Torkoal isn't able to switch moves from Eruption thanks to the Choice Specs. I set Rain Dance up. Thanks to the damage I did earlier with Bleak Wind and the rain, even if I lose both Pokemon here, there should be no way for Ben to get through my full HP Flutter Mane in the back. But I don't need it. Both Ben's Pokemon stay asleep and I win the game. Game 2 begins with the same Pokemon. I don't want to change anything up on my end. I've thought through dozens and dozens of ways that this opening sequence can play out, and I have a plan for all of them. The onus is on Ben to put me in a situation that I haven't seen before, made more difficult by the fact that he doesn't know what I have and haven't seen. There is one play that I'm worried about. Last game, I went for double Sludge Bomb into Hatterini to cover for a Healing Wish play. If Ben thinks I'll make that play again, he can Terra to Fire and Trick Room with Hatterini while going for Healing Wish on Indeedee. And with the Terra Fire, he'll survive double Sludge Bomb. So instead, I lock in Earth Power. But Ben just goes for Follow Me. He knows I'm not going to let him get a Healing Wish up. I get really lucky in that my double up both doesn't KO and I don't get the poison, leaving Indeedee on the field. Effectively, this is the same position as last game, but Ben
Wolfie saw 14 chances and dude, Wolfie is like the Doctor Strange dude, like he's like that, and like how many chances are we winning?
makes a different play turn 2, switching Torkoal in for Hatterini. I terrestrialize Amoonguss and put Indeedee to sleep, wasting a second turn of Trick Room. But this time, Torkoal's on the field. Now, Water-type Amoonguss is one of the best Pokemon you can have against a Torkoal, but the problem is that Ben has that Magic Bounce Hatterini in the back. If I try and Spore the Torkoal and Hatterini just switches in, Amoonguss will get put to sleep instead. Ben switches Indeedee to Hatterini as I switch Landorus to Tornadus. Torkoal terrestrializes to Fire for the damage boost, and Terra Fire, Choice Specs, Sun Boosted Eruption drops Amoonguss well below half HP. In exchange, Sludge Bomb lands a critical hit on Torkoal, doing over half of its health in return. 2 turns left of Trick Room. Ben switches Torkoal to Indeedee as I protect both. One last turn of Trick Room.
Hatterene uses Expanding Force here, will get the KO on the Tornadus. Ew, and Amoonguss hangs on with just 1 hit point! That is a huge survival right there for Wolf. That 1 hit point as Amoonguss will follow up and knock out the Indeedee with a Sludge Bomb. So huge survival right there from that Amoonguss, being able to pick up the scraps with that Indeedee KO as the Twisted Dimensions return to normal.
So believe it or not, this survival was actually really bad for me. If Amoonguss had fainted, there would have been no way for Ben to stop the combination of Dazzling Gleam and Sludge Bomb to KO both Pokemon. And then with the speed advantage and no Protect available on Ben's side, it's a clean double KO next turn too. With Amoonguss surviving, this gets a bit trickier. I decide to go into Flutter Mane as Ben sends out Urshifu. In the moment, I have no idea if Shadow Ball will KO Hatterini. If it doesn't, I'm in huge trouble. A second Trick Room would cause me to lose this game. Is it worth committing a Sludge Bomb with Amoonguss too? What if Urshifu Sucker Punches? Do I survive Choice Band Sucker Punch? With only 45 seconds, I don't have time to find the perfect play. As my time is running out, I decide to commit. I think Shadow Ball will KO.
As the turn moves on, Amoonguss will use Rage Powder, but what does the Urshifu over on Ben's side decide to do? Looks like it did go for a Sucker Punch, does get redirected and failing into that Amoonguss slot. And here comes Flutter Mane using Shadow Ball, connects into that Hatterene slot. Gonna do some damage and get the 1-hit KO there. So Wolf just slowly picking apart Ben's team. Now it's gonna come down to
That's why kids stay in school. You need to calculate damage calculation during offline VGC tournaments with a pen and paper only. Dude, you need to understand how does it work. You if you don't understand it, no, you're just you know what I mean by that.
the Urshifu over on Ben's side, as well as that damage Torkoal in the back.
Shadow Ball will always KO, I just forgot. So this endgame actually was a lot safer for me than I realized. Without Trick Room, there's no way for Ben to win with his 2 choice-locked Pokemon, and he forfeits the next turn. I'm going to the finals. I might actually defend the title. I find a quiet spot and start preparing for finals. The other top 4 match hasn't started yet, but I'm confident that Justin's gonna win. I start thinking, how can I possibly beat this Iron Crown team? What can I try that he hasn't seen before? I start playing the game in my head over and over, trying to find a path through that gives me even a fighting chance when I look at the stream. Justin lost game 1? I'm sure he'll turn it around. I go back to my notes, but I'm worried. After a few minutes, I look at the stream again. He's losing game 2? I stop working and watch as my friend slowly but surely loses the set and is eliminated from the tournament. I hadn't even looked at the other matchup because I was so confident in Justin.
Just calculate 144 special defense Clefairy versus 252 special attack choice picks Among Us Sludge Bomb. What? I'm scared of Crown and it. Dude, Crown and NDD lost, dude.
He played that opponent earlier in the tournament, and it sounded like he won pretty easily. And I guess this means that my chances of winning the tournament just went up, but I didn't want it to happen this way. I wanted it to be us in the finals, me versus my friend. I rush to go find Justin before I have to head backstage, and even though he's upset, he gives me a hug and tells me, win for me. And I tell him, I will. I'm not just playing for myself and my Pokemon anymore. I'm playing for my friend. But maybe I should have looked at the matchup before I went and made grand promises. It's not very good. It's another one of these horrible Urshifu, Ogerpon, Raging Bolt, Rillaboom teams. Just
Chad, I'm also thinking to buy a Pro controller. Should I go for this one? Should I go for this one? A Nintendo Pro controller. Should I go for this one? Or... should I just go for this basic one? Chat. Should I just go for this basic one? Or should I go for this one? I like this design, dude. I like this design so much. It looks so sick. Chad, what do you say? What do you say, Chad? Wolfie out there knowing how other... Nah, the first one. Okay, cool. I'll go with the first one then. Or there is Zelda one, but Zelda one is not that great. And the price is too much. This is Zelda one, chat. This is Zelda one. I know it's actually cool. It looks so cool, that white one in the side. But yeah, it's overpriced. It's 6,000 something, and I'm like 6,000 should I spend for a controller? I'm like, oh, and there is this Super Smash Bros also, but yeah, this is like just a plain one. This is just a plain white Super Bro one. Yeah, Steam. This is not a Steam Deck. This is a Nintendo Switch 1 controller. It's not a Steam Deck one. Okay, now I'm pretty confused. I see another dragon one. The golden one. Chat, now tell me. This is a golden one at the same price. It's the same price. This, I'll take a screenshot. Wait, give me a moment. This. Oh yeah, this is actually cheaper than the golden one. Cool. But yeah, it's fine. 3K I can expense. Or this one. Chat. This is actually sick design because it covers completely. No one will be screaming California girls when robbing a bank to buy a controller. Seriously, man. And I don't think there is any other better controllers design than that. Others are boring. And I don't want a wired one. There are multiple options for wired one. I don't know. Chat, pick one, chat. You wanna go for this? Or you wanna go for this? I'm giving you side by side. I'm just giving you side by side. Arey. Ho ja bhai. Chat. This or this? I think this is better. Even though even the price is actually lower comparative to this, because this is very minimal. This is only one dragon coming out, and it's also pricey, like 3,500. But this is for 3,000. I think it has a sick design. What do you say, Chad? What do you say? I think I need to get the controller, dude. My Switch's gonna break the way I'm using it. Yesterday it crashed out without a charge. I'm like, to be honest, I think I need to have that. And that will make me owning up to 4 controllers. Like, seriously, and if you add Switch controller also, this will become 5 controllers then. Oh my god, I'm having a controller shop, dude.
like the one I only another one of these horrible Urshifu, Ogerpon, Raging Bolt, Rillaboom teams. Just like the one I only barely eked out a win over in the quarterfinals. And I don't have time to form a plan. It's already time for
Just buy a controller with the white dragon, duh. Oh, I see, white dragon, huh? White dragon, yeah, I think I'll go for that because it's also budget friendly. I need to think about my money spending. I can't, it doesn't mean that I'm earning from YouTube money, doesn't mean that I need to spend, ridiculously.
the finals to begin. Rather than try and figure out the perfect lead for this matchup, I instead go back to the lead that I'm most comfortable with, Incineroar and Amoonguss. I figure that there's nothing my opponent can lead that's instantly going to cost me the game if I do this. And I think I'm right. Incineroar and Ogerpon are their leads. Now, this isn't quite as nice as it seems because this Ogerpon isn't Swords Dance, it's Focus Energy. The advantage of Focus Energy is it ignores all attack drops, so my Intimidate is a bit less valuable. Turn 1, doesn't go so well. I feel pressured to go for a Fake Out, but my opponent just switches Incineroar into Urshifu.
I just noticed that is a Neil Patel. Wait, is he representing India or something, chat? Or how does it work? Like, Neil Patel, it's an Indian name.
Urshifu and Spiky Shields. I didn't want to go for a hard read though, and so my Fake Out does negligible chip while Amoonguss' Sludge Bomb is blocked. And now my situation is a lot worse as theoretically, both my Pokemon could be knocked out here. I switch Incineroar into Urshifu and Terrastalize Amoonguss to water. But to my shock, that's the only Terrastalization for the turn. Ogerpon goes for Focus Energy, Surging Strikes does a little chip to my Urshifu, and Amoonguss' Spore fails into Ogerpon. I thought for sure that they'd Terrastalize there as a Sludge Bomb would be potentially game losing, and I just went for one the prior turn, but it didn't come out. And now with Ogerpon boosted, that turn wasted, and my Terrastalization burnt, I'm in really bad shape. Grassy Glide will KO either of my Pokemon with a critical hit, and I can't get rid of
It's time for my guitar classes. Wish me luck because today is my exam. All the best, buddy. All the best. All the best. I hope you succeed in it.
the Ogerpon that easily at all. I switch back to Incineroar, but my opponent doubled it, and Incineroar goes down. But this turn, Amoonguss Sludge Bombs and drops Ogerpon low. But something about that turn seemed weird. Did you catch it? My opponent didn't switch in Rillaboom. Is it possible that they left it behind? If they did, they can't KO my Urshifu before I go for Surging Strikes. But if they have Rillaboom, I probably need to Aqua Jet. I think they left it behind. The turn starts and the Urshifu switches to Incineroar. Surging Strikes KOs Ogerpon and Spore fails into Incineroar. The game was looking doomed, but now at 3 Pokemon left apiece, this might actually be doable. I think they're gonna go for Fake Out and Close Combat. So I decided to do something incredibly risky and switch my Urshifu into Landorus. They Terrastalize Incineroar to Ghost and Fake Out Amoonguss, and Urshifu hits Landorus with Close Combat. I don't want Landorus to go down, so I use Rage Powder as they switch in Chen Pao, and Aqua Jet gets redirected as Earth Power hits Chen Pao and brings it down to its Focus Sash. I go for a Rage Powder and try to KO Urshifu, but they protect, as Chen Pao's Sacred Sword does a ton to Amoonguss. And suddenly, this is looking a lot closer. But I've been rage powdering turn after turn. Do I really need to do it again? I take a massive risk. They switch Urshifu into Incineroar, and Chen Pao goes for Sacred Sword. Earth Power does over half to Incineroar, and Amoonguss goes for Sludge Bomb, KOing Chen Pao. And taking that KO costs me the game. I lost sight of the macro. I needed to not let Incineroar get on the field next to Urshifu. If that had been Spore into Chen Pao, the result would have been the same for me, but instead, I'm suddenly in a really awkward spot. Fake Out stops Landorus from moving as Urshifu KOs Amoonguss.
Yeah, I don't want the breaking news. A bearded man in Mangalore recently robbed a bank to buy a controller while screaming California girls. The controller company is not helping to pay. Dude, this is why international people do racist joke on us, because we don't have self-respect and we say this shit to ourselves, and then you say others are being racist to us. This is how you build a stereotypical mindset. This is how you build everything, and this is the whole reason that we being a creators, we being face all this stuff, because it is common for our audience to say it. I'm like, what can I say, White Dragon, for that?
And we're in a 2 against 2. Fake Out stops Landorus from moving as Urshifu KOs Amoonguss. And we're in a 2 against 2. I can't lock into Close Combat because the Incineroar is a Ghost type, and my Urshifu is holding a Choice Scarf. But I feel like Landorus can take an Aqua Jet. right?
Take advantage of that -1 defense, but Aqua Jet comes through first, KOs Wolf's Landorus.
Landorus is down. Urshifu is Wolf's final Pokemon in this game. Number 1 tries to use Surging Strikes to pick up the knockout on this Ghost type Incineroar. It will take all 3 hits, but it is now just Urshifu remaining for both these Pokemon trainers.
And now it's the exact same situation as my set with Justin, except I'm the one with the Urshifu locked into Surging Strikes. I survived the close combat, but it doesn't matter. Aqua Jet finishes me off and I lose game 1. How do I keep ending up in situations where I'm down a game in these terrible matchups? Well, okay, other than the obvious answer. I actually think that this moment, for me, is a sign of growth. I know that I probably had the tools to win that game, and in the moment, it can be really easy to start beating yourself up for throwing away a game when you know that you were ahead. But I've learned the hard way that that's not going to help me win this set. If I'm going to feel bad, I'll do it after I'm out of the tournament. Right now, all I care about is winning. I switch my lead up, Incineroar and Landorus. I expect the same lead from my opponent, and this is the best thing I can do to punish it. Now, my opponent could just play defensively like they did last game, spiky shielding and bringing in Rillaboom or Urshifu, but I don't think they're going to. They're up a game, and by leading Landorus, I force them to consider something. Substitute. It's really scary to play defensively in front of Landorus because of Ogerpon's spiky shields and Landorus gets a sub up unpunished. This game can quickly spiral out of control, so I think they're going to attack. I lock in Fake Out onto Incineroar. If it Terras to Ghost and Fake Outs Landorus, I'll be in huge trouble, but I don't think it's gonna. The turn starts and my heart sinks as I see the Terastallization go off.
We do get a turn 1 Terastallization from Neil, going straight for that Hearth Flame Mask and Body Aspect activation to boost up Ogerpon's attack to negate the attack drop from Intimidate.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice little reset there from Neil. Fake Out goes into his own Incineroar, which flinches next. Ivy Cudgel coming out. This is a neutral Terrafire boosted Ivy Cudgel into the Landorus on Wolf's End.
And Landorus is able to take that attack and fire back an Earth Power. That's now super effective. Gets
Yo, Anvi, what's up? Welcome back. Welcome back to the stream. Thank you so much for joining and hope you had a great day. Hope this stream makes a bit for you.
the one-hit KO in return.
That's an enormous pickup. Ogerpon was such a pain last game, and getting it turn 1 on top of getting rid of the Terra is massive. Urshifu hits the field, but I'm ready for it. I've got both my water resistances in the back. I double switch, and the Surging Strikes and knockoff play finds 2 not very effective targets. And actually, losing the Choice Scarf on Urshifu works in my favor. I don't need the speed anymore, and now I can switch moves. I once again find myself in the lead, and this time, I'm not going to let it go to waste. Incineroar switches out into Rillaboom.
Especially knowing that Neil's last Pokemon this time is Rillaboom.
Rillaboom now hits the field, sets up the grassy terrain, and is threatening some big damage into Urshifu, but a big close combat straight into that Rillaboom slot from Wolf's Urshifu that has over half of Rillaboom's HP immediately gone. And a
With a
Sludge
Sludge Bomb too! That's enough to pick up the
What a
KO on that
freaking
Rillaboom
read, man.
The switch! That was a fantastic prediction from Wolf!
My opponent doesn't even bother playing out the rest of the game. They forfeit after just 3 turns. This entire tournament will be decided in game 3. I want to bring Tornadus. It's my best
Oh,
Pokemon.
that was a nice movie, dude. I love Cars. I love Cars 1. I love Cars 2. I love Cars 3. I'm just huge fan of the franchise. But yeah, you know, to be honest, I just love Cars, Lightning McQueen and stuff. The storyline is really good. World champ
Against Ogerpon,
World
and it's great at
champ,
hitting
baby.
Rillaboom and Urshifu too. But that would mean leaving one of the Pokemon I've been bringing behind. I give it some thought and I realize it has to be Urshifu. The water resistance is nice, but I'm sure I'm going to have to deal with both grass types with Grassy Glide, and I think it's the least important.
I wonder who will be the next Urshifu and Ogerpon in Gen 10, aka the DLC legendary Pokemon that isn't restricted and it's very OP like redirection and hitting through protects. Dude, hitting through protects Urshifu is the brokenest, dude. Brokenest Pokemon.
Pokemon here. So, with the tournament on the line, I decide to go back to the lead I've used more than any other this tournament, Incineroar and Amoonguss. This time, I'm facing down Rillaboom and Ogerpon, not Incineroar. Grassy Terrain is up from the beginning, and for the first time this set, I'm the one with the slower fake out. Ogerpon can KO Amoonguss with Terra Fire Ivy Cudgel. One way around that is to go for Terra Water and Spore like I did in game 1. But I feel like my opponent hasn't been respecting the Sludge Bomb play. And in the end, I think I want to bet on the move that I built my entire team around. What should I do with Incineroar? I have to make a call on which Pokemon Rillaboom is going to fake out. Is it Incin or Amoonguss? They can basically have a null turn 1 if they want with fake out into Amoonguss and focus energy, but I don't think they're gonna. I can't explain why, but I feel like their play is fake out into Incineroar and focus energy. And my best play to counter that is to switch out Incineroar and bring in the Force of Nature.
But we see a Pokemon adjustment
Nice.
from
Ooh.
Wolf. Tornadus will take the field, will lose
He
its
knew it.
Focus Sash for its trouble, but seeing that Ogerpon went for a focus energy
Poison?
with the Sludge Bomb and the poison, that's the best you could hope for from that turn for Wolf.
As Gabby said, that turn literally went as well as possible. Tornadus on the field in front of 2 intimidated grass types, Ogerpon at low HP and poisoned, and Amoonguss not forced to terrastalize. My opponent didn't respect Sludge Bomb Amoonguss, and they paid the price in blood. If Tornadus can just hit its Bleak Wind, I'll gain a massive lead. Worse, I doubled Ogerpon, trying to cover for a miss, so my massive lead just shrunk considerably. I didn't want to go for a Rain Dance in case they just attacked with Ogerpon, and also because I didn't want to power up their Urshifu, which I suspect is in the back. So now my position looks a fair bit worse. There's nothing else to do. I need to go for Bleak Wind again. And the good news is Tornadus will survive both Grassy Glides unless the first one crits, a 50% chance after the focus energy.
The Grassy Glide from Ogerpon on Neil's side might try to go first, but without enough damage to KO it, it will not go down even with the critical hit.
That Tornadus is unfortunately unable to go for a Bleak Wind Storm this turn, as it will be taken down by those 2 priority Grassy Glides. But you traded your speed control Pokemon to knock out that critical hit boosted Ogerpon.
Okay,
Chat
so
Messa, what did I do? Who said chess is the hardest strategic game?
did Tornadus end up doing anything other than
Everything
coming
is
in and
hardest
missing a
when
Bleak
it
Wind?
comes to this dude. This is literally like mind fudged. But yeah, even chess is difficult. It's not like it's not difficult. But agreeing on it, this really sucks your brain. No, what else is massive?
No, but it did apply pressure
No,
and force my opponent
no.
to deal with it, and ultimately trading it for Ogerpon was worth it, so I guess good job Tornadus. But this battle is way far from over. I go back into Incineroar to get a second Intimidate on the Rillaboom as my opponent reveals Chen-Pao as their 3rd Pokemon, a crucial Intimidate target. This feels like I have the advantage, but how do I capitalize? I can fake out and Spore into the Chen-Pao, but it's probably going to protect. I could fake out the Chen-Pao and Spore the Rillaboom, but if it stays in and goes for high horsepower, I'll be in danger next turn. If I try and Sludge Bomb the Rillaboom and Urshifu switches in, my Incineroar will be in a way worse spot. What should I do? Do I even have a safe play? I see one. I can use both Flare Blitz and Spore into the Rillaboom. Normally this play wouldn't work because if Rillaboom stays in, it would survive the Flare Blitz and then Spore would fail thanks to the grass typing. But Rillaboom isn't the only Pokemon on the field. Chen-Pao's ability, Sword of Ruin, lowers the defense stat of all other Pokemon on the field, including its own partner. I can use Chen-Pao's ability against it. The only question is, what will my opponent do?
Sacred Sword from Chen-Pao into the opposing Incineroar to drop it down to below half its health, but the combination with the high horsepower, Incineroar is able to hold on. Flare Blitz is a one-hit knockout on that Rillaboom. Wolf will lose the Incineroar with recoil damage as a result, but talk about a great trade. Now this Amoonguss is free to terrastalize, and he gets the Spore in as well.
That second Intimidate saved Incineroar's life, and that play works out almost as well as possible, putting us in a 2 against 2, but they have a Pokemon that just fell asleep. I send out Landorus, they send out Urshifu. This
That pause was intentional skull emoji. What do you mean by that pause, dude?
is it, the final end game. I can double the Urshifu, but if they protect, we're going to have to start dealing with sleep turns. Alternatively, I could double the Chen-Pao. If I terrestrialize Landorus to steal, I won't go down to an Aqua Jet, and Chen-Pao can't protect itself because it just fell asleep. So they have no way to stop the Earth Power. And with Sludge Bomb to finish it off, I'll end up in a 1v1 scenario with Amoonguss versus Urshifu. And Amoonguss will surely beat Urshifu in a 1 against 1. I think it over and lock it in. No need to play mini games with protect or sleep turns when I have a safe win. And this play loses me the game. See, after 17 rounds of Pokemon over 2 days, I make a critical error. I forgot about my opponent's Terastallization. They haven't used it this battle, and their Urshifu is Terra Poison, an uncommon type, but one that lets it resist Sludge Bomb. Unless Amoonguss puts Urshifu to sleep and it sleeps for 3 turns every time and I get multiple critical hits, there's no way Amoonguss can win this. I told you from the start, this is a story about failure. And this is it, my final failure, right at the very end, with victory within my sight, just out of reach.
Your final 2 Pokemon, and remember, the title of a regional champion is on the line, and that's why
Dude, that guy is... I don't know. He did Terra Stellar on Chin Pao, dude.
see Neo
Seriously.
playing to every possible out, will go for that stellar Terastallization to boost the power of Chen Pao's attacks once it wakes up from its sleep.
You have to wonder why Neo opted for the Terastallization there. This Chien-Pao cannot possibly wake up on this turn, Gabby. There's no way this Chien-Pao attacks, and this Terastallization cannot come in handy for at least one more turn. Landorus instead going immediately for a Terastallization of its own to protect itself from a possible Aqua Jet coming out from this Urshifu. Earth Power into Chien-Pao brings it down to its Focus Sash.
Chen Pao barely able to hang on. Urshifu surging strikes into the Landorus with the Terastallization. It's going to be enough to knock it out.
It's enough for a KO into Landorus, but I think that's all Wolf needs.
After this video, Noah will climb Reggae Ladder. Kuch bhi bhai.
Was that Earth Power into Chien-Pao. Really smart targeting there, because if Sludge Bomb comes through to KO this Chien-Pao, it will be a 1v1 Urshifu versus Amoonguss, and that is exactly what Wolf wants.
Huh? Chen Pao terastallized? As Jake said, there is no reason at all for my opponent to do this. Chen Pao can never wake up here. So why did they do it? If you showed this to a child whose brain had not fully developed, you might think that they threw the game on purpose for some reason. If you showed this to somebody with a brain so large they can barely stand, they'd probably tell you, that's the world champ difference, baby. You could call it plot armor. You could believe Arceus intervened. But I'll tell you what I believe. I think this error was caused by the accumulation of weight during the tournament. By losing game 2 on stream in 3 turns, getting hard red, thinking about what people are going to say about you online, by ending up in a losing position in game 3 after such a dominant game 1, believing that the game is over, giving up, by playing Justin, being pushed to the limit by one of the best players in the game, and by all the countless other things we acquire during a tournament. Expecting someone in the finals to play perfectly is nuts. In this very turn, I made a huge mistake myself, and learning to keep trying and keep pushing even when things look dire is a skill you forge over years of getting knocked down and getting up again. Look at how quickly he locks in the move here. To me, this looks like a player playing on tilt, a player who believes the game is already over, a player who's given up. And until you've sat in that seat on that stage and felt like someone else was claiming the dream that you thought was yours, I think it's hard to say whether or not you would have done any better. But this match still isn't over. I should win. I really should. But we all know that in Pokemon, the player who's more likely to win is not always the player who does win. Amoonguss!
This was Regf climb live, right? Why are we watching tournament? Dude, literally it is written in this thing that I'm practicing Regf. And when I started the live, if you were not there, I'm so sorry for that, Spagoba. I told I'll watch Wolfie's video, I will analyze stuff, I'll understand stuff, use his team, so I can practice how situation goes, how I can use Pokemons. That was a clear instruction when I started the stream. Oh yeah, Wolfie remembered his misclick with Cresselia. Totally, dude. And that's why he became that humblest guy, like, you know, that's the whole situation. And I actually seen this match before, so I knew it that Wolfie's team is that what Dash is telling to the ones who are recommending, the ones who haven't watched the videos, dude. You guys are missing out so many stuffs what I'm doing and asking nonsense questions. What am I doing? What is happening around? And you know, I'm so sorry for that, but just ask what am I doing instead of putting a comment right then and there. This is supposed to be that, this or something. I'm just being respectful enough. But yeah, I've been doing so many stuff in the previous videos, previous streams. I've been explaining stuff, what I'm planning of later on. And I also told that some stuff which I won't be explanatory because that will be coming out as a video. But anyways, thank you so much for joining in. Hope you had a great day with this team exhibit for you. And we're watching Wolfie's Regef team match so that, I try out that team in Regef ladder in Pokemon Showdown and learn things from there to understand what are the stuffs and how I can play it as a streak of 5, whether I can win with the proper plannings in that. So let's see with that.
This is it. I've done all I can. You've been the ace of my team this entire time. The Pokemon I relied on more than any other. I'm leaving the rest to you.
I really just want to call out how smart that Terrestrialization from Landorus was for Wolf on that prior turn. Doing that means that it drops the water type weakness. Even though we saw it get knocked out by Surging Strikes anyway, it couldn't possibly be knocked out by Aqua Jet. All Wolf needed was one Earth Power into the Chanpao, which could not wake up, could not protect. It's guaranteed damage. The combination from that and Earth Power and Sludge Bomb from the Amoonguss enough to KO it. And Wolf very confident, just like we are, Gabby, that I think this Amoonguss can 1v1 the Urshifu, especially considering it just got put to sleep. It's got to take a couple turns to wake up, and this Amoonguss still has the Citrus Berry at its disposal.
It still has the Citrus Berry, and it is running Sludge Bomb, which looks like it will be about a 3 to 4 hit KO, depending on how much damage it does. We see the Urshifu wake up after a single turn of sleep. Will activate the Citrus Berry on this Amoonguss, but I think the most important thing to look for here is just when will that Amoonguss be in close combat range, as the odds that Wolf went for a Spore this turn are so low.
They really are. Sludge Bomb comes through, and I think the worst thing that can happen is a poison here for Wolf, because you really want to put it back to sleep this turn. If it was poison, that is not an option. Surging Strikes comes back through here from this Urshifu, will attempt to put Amoonguss in close combat range. Gabby, like you called out, close combat, despite the critical hits from Surging Strikes, is slightly stronger at the end of the day.
It looks like both these trainers have heads up, waiting to see how this game will play out. I think this is one of those situations where Neil knows that he has to keep clicking Surging Strikes until it's close combat range. Wolf knows that he needs maybe 2 more Sludge Bombs to knock out this Pokemon. Here comes the first one, 6 HP. We saw it wake up after 1 turn earlier. Will it wake up again? This is the turn that will decide your Orlando Regional Champion, and it is the Urshifu close combat into that Amoonguss. It holds on! It holds on through that attack. Amoonguss should have plenty of time to return and knock out with that Sludge Bomb, and Wolf Flick is now your 2023 and 2024 Orlando Regional Champion.
What an insane endgame there, Gabby.
That's
Wolf
a
played that
crazy
so
one. That's a crazy
incredibly
one.
well, just knowing how exactly he needed to target his attacks.
And that's how a last-minute decision resulted in me defending my title of Orlando Regional Champion. My 9th regional title total and my 2nd win this season. I've only attended 4 tournaments this season, and winning 2 of them and making finals at a 3rd is something I'm immensely proud of. Pokemon is a game where it's really hard to do consistently well, and being able to still compete at the highest level while spending so much time on my channel and these videos is something I don't think I would have believed possible a couple years ago. So I want to say thank you to my supporters, my friends, and Amoonguss. There's 2 events left for me this season: North American Internationals and the Pokemon World Championships. I'll do my best to take them home.
Woohoo! There you go. That ended unexpectedly, but anyways, I have actually prepped the team of what Wolfie has done here, but I haven't given him a Citrus Berry. That was my mistake. I should give it Citrus Berry, and that's it. I think that's the whole team what he was using: Choice Scarf, Focus Dash, Booster Energy, Life Orb, Safety Goggles, Terra Grass, Terra Water here, Terra Steel, my bad, Terra Steel, and I don't know what Terra did he use here. Chad, what was the Terra he was using for what Terra he was using for the Tornadoes though? I think, yeah, I'll nickname them once. Give me a moment.
Recommend you go check out that video. Otherwise, here's time, and I think not using it is a mistake. Incineroar paired with Amoonguss teams and Ogerpon Hearthflame. It's also faster than every other Amoonguss.
Chad, what was the... Nah, it's for I'm asking for tornadoes, not for landers.
Because I've chosen that nobody else wants. 50-50 chance. Best Pokemon in the game. Incineroar paired with Amoonguss will be my defense. Incineroar to be faster than most is actually.
I will give its nickname my own things, dude, instead of giving what Wolfie gave. Alright, go. Okay, good. I think that's it. Wait, you guys don't know what Terra he used for his tornadoes? Kinda sucks. I wanna know what Terra used for his tornadoes though. Have anyone sees what Terra he had used? Yeah, I'm seeing. Actually, I'm seeing that itself. I'm actually seeing that, but I'm not getting it. So I saw in between, then nothing is there. See, he spoke about
To find the opportunity to
focus
set
dash.
up the rain. With just one Pokemon left, I needed something that could threaten Raging
That's
Bolt.
all. That's all he said. That's all he said. He haven't said what Terra he's using for it. So I need to go through all the live game he has played, and have to see if any Terra he has used on tornadoes.
To turn. There's too much health for me to stop.
Nope. No.
With hard wrote in my notes comes down thick. If I win both of them, I'll make it into the final 8.
Let me Google Regf team. Regf Wolfie team. I think I'll get it. Victory Road should have it, but I don't know, dude. Dude, why the hell am I not getting Regulation F team Pokefest? I already watched his video bro on God. What? First match shows his team sheet. Okay, cool. Let me see that. I think I didn't notice that.
Really tough to play against. But the thing is, I have a lot of experience using Weezing from a tournament I played in with it. And because of that, I understand very well how it
I
as
don't
a
know,
secondary
he
effect
didn't
when
use
paired
it.
with sheer force and won't activate, but will still give the damage boost. With 2 additional damage multipliers on an already strong Pokemon, Landorus Incarnate hits like a truck. I gave it Earth Power and Sludge Bomb for damage, and Substitute to capitalize on Pokemon playing defensively around it, and to punish Amoongus, and trained it to be fast, hit hard, and survive certain key attacks
No, Black. There is nothing of his. He didn't show any of his team.
from psychic terrain based teams. I named it Control because of how much control I get over the battle if I ever set up a substitute unpunished. So now that you're all caught up on the team that I'm going to be using, let's return to the present. 6:30 a.m. in Orlando, Florida, where I'm running on maybe 4 hours of sleep. My friends and I shower, get dressed, grab some breakfast, and head to the venue. The tournament has 3 phases, and in order to make it to the second one, I'll need to win 7 of my 9 games today. The second phase has 6 more rounds tomorrow, and between those games and the 9 games today, I can only afford 2 losses total if I want to guarantee I advance to the final.
Bro, please, on God, bro. I'll worship. What do you mean by that, dummy? I didn't get you. So this is Nikhil Reddy's, this is Wolfie Gleeks here. I think it should be here.
Wins and 1 loss. And even though we tried to avoid it earlier, my next opponent would be Luca. His team is effectively identical to Ashton. He does have Chen Pao and plays.
This is a different regulation F team, I guess then. Yeah, this is a different regulation F team. This is a completely different regulation F team. This is literally a completely different regulation F team. Fuck. Show me the thumbnail. Oh, cool. The thumbnail something looks like this. Terra Steel. Okay, cool. I'll go for it. I'll go for that. The Landers was Terra Steel. Yeah, Landers was Terra Steel. This was the video, dude. He running with this thing. Guys, check out and let me know whether he used Terra Steel on Tornadoes too, because he has already used Terra Steel on Landers. Why would he go for again a Terra Steel on Tornadoes? I'm not getting it. There you go. There you go. We got it. It's a Terra Ghost, you guys. It's a Terra Ghost. I told you. It must not be that. You guys are like, hey, it's Terra Steel. It's Terra Steel. Who was that Terra Steel? White Dragon. After me saying it's a Terra Ghost. Huh. अरे ouch. Anyway, I think I have here. I just have to make it Terra Ghost so it becomes easy here. Ghost. Okay, cool. That should validate. Cool, it validates. And yeah. Arey, dragon, calm down. No, I'll tell you to when to challenge. Give me a moment. I'll just come chat. I'll be right back. Give me like 5 minutes. I just have to go and collect something. If you guys stay, do stay, or else if you guys just can come right after 5 minutes. I'm telling you. I'll be right there by 5 minutes. Yeah, not 5 to 10 minutes. 5 minutes. Just give me a moment. I'll just go and come. Where's next? I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Give me like 5 minutes. I'll just come. You guys can interact with each other by the time I'll just come. You. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Cool. So now the only thing what I have to do is I have to note down what was the openings he was using.
And I shower, get
That's
dressed,
the
grab
whole
some
point. That's
breakfast,
the
and
whole
head to the
that's the
venue.
whole confusion I have. What were the openings he was using?
The tournament has 3 phases, and in order to make it to the second one, I'll need to win 7 of my 9 games today. The second phase, So, facing down a terrifying Pokemon, Weezing against. And how easy it is to win in 2 games. Well, how to play using Weezing from a tournament I played in with it. And because of that, I understand.
Wolfie's Orlando 2024 Regulation F. I'm just noting it down so it makes it easier for us to understand. So when it is always wheezing, he opens up with
And very well how to play around Weezing,
Landorus.
even without access to my
and Ensign.
abilities. I win in 2 games. Round 2 is not so easy though. It's against the Tinglu Dondozo player, which is one of my team's harder matchups due to how bulky Tinglu and Dondozo are, and how easy it is for them to disrupt my team with the combination of Sand Tomb, which traps whatever it hits in the field and does damage over time,
Hey, Tanish,
and
what's up?
Yawn,
Welcome
which
to the
puts a
stream,
Pokemon
buddy.
to sleep unless they switch out. My notes on what happened this match are lacking. Oh yeah, we don't have a way to record like footage from actual tournaments at the moment. All the battles that you'll see in this video are recreations that we do after the fact. It normally takes like 40 hours to be honest. So yeah, if things are like a little bit imprecise, like what you see doesn't necessarily match what I say, that's the reason why. The issue with this Tinglu Dondozo team is not only the Tinglu and Dondozo, but also the Dragonite. Normally these teams use Choice Band Dragonite, which I can beat with Fluttermane, but this one is Terra Steel, Loaded Dice, Scale Shot, Iron Head.
and what?
Scale Shot hits 2 to 5 times normally and raises the user's speed, but with the Loaded Dice item, it'll always hit 4 to 5 times. And with Terra Steel and Iron Head, my Fluttermane can't actually beat it consistently. I win game 1 thanks to a very lucky Scale Shot miss when Dragonite had 2 attack boosts thanks to the Howl Gouging Fire, but I lose game 2 as they adapt and bring their Goldengo in, who I struggle to deal with. The third game is really close, but this time I'm ready for Goldengo, and I smack it with Knockoff as it switches in addition to getting some early damage on Tinglu with close combat,
Yo,
as I
Mother, welcome
predict it
back.
to not Terra. Even with these great calls, the game is tight, but I narrowly come out on top. 2 wins and 0 losses
So he always carries Ensign no matter what. He always carries
in the
I
tournament.
know,
An
be very
important early
predictable.
win.
So it should have Lando, Ensign, and Flutterman and Urshifu.
And an important matchup to beat, and hopefully one I won't have to see again for the rest of the tournament. Also, this is normally where I would do a sub plug and ask you to subscribe, but competitive Pokemon has seen changed a lot in the last couple. Look at this, have a big competitive Pokemon. You know what I mean? And want tournament. Teams are terrifying. They use Psychic Terrain defensively to stop priority moves like Fake Out, and Pokemon move before attackers to overwhelm a Poke Terrain becoming 4 team, boom, or to reverse Trick while just in hand blocks branch Pokemon on my. This will be the first real test of whether all my
Okay, so Dragonite is OP with Chimpa. Oh, cool. Okay. This is Armor Rouge and Indeedee.
preparation actually paid off. The battle starts with Indeedee and Armor
Ensign and Among
Rouge against my Incineroar and Amoonguss. Normally my plan is to lead Landorus here, but the presence of Lilligant means I need to change things up slightly.
Landorus also. Works.
Amoonguss might seem strange to use here since it's weak to Psychic, but that's about to change. I
Terra
terrestrialize
Water.
Amoonguss to Water as Indeedee uses Follow Me and takes a knockoff. But instead of going for Trick Room, Armorers launches a Meteor Beam, getting a special attack boost and KOing Incineroar in 1 hit. Amoonguss fires back with a Spore, putting Indeedee to sleep as I send in Fluttermane. It might look bad to lose a Pokemon turn 1, but without Trick Room, this team is going to have a hard time winning. Indeedee switches to Ursaluna as Armorers is forced to terrestrialize to Grass to survive the Shadow Ball, and Amoonguss protects itself from the expanding force, maintaining full HP. I switch Amoonguss to Tornadus and use Dazzling
Ooh, he got Tornadoes. Okay. Oh, because he knew there was a Terra Grass over there.
Flame
Yeah,
to finish
cool.
off Armor.
You can have normal Terra Extreme Speed Dragonite next to Chinpao. It does insane
As
damage.
Ursaluna's facade
But yeah, if your opponent has Flutterman, then it's gone. What's the use of keeping
the switched in Tornadus, bringing it down to Focus Sash. My opponent's other option is to send in Sleeping Indeedee, so they instead send out Gallade. But Trick Room still isn't up. Gallade goes for a wide guard, but it doesn't block anything as I set the rain up with Torn and KO Gallade with Moonblast.
You gotta go,
and
White Dragon.
Ursaluna
Bye-bye,
KOs
see ya, man.
Fluttermane with Headlong
I'm
Rush.
so sorry you wanted to play with me, but I couldn't do it. I'm so sorry for that. It's just because I have to work on it. I just have to work on it.
2 against 2 now, but their Indeedee is asleep, Rain is up, and both their Pokemon are damaged. Rage Powder and 2 Bleakwind Storms wins me the game. But that was a little bit too close for comfort. And if I can be honest, I didn't realize that Meteor Beam was going to KO Incineroar in a single hit, and that made things a lot dicier than it needed to be. I feel like they're going to change their plan up. If I were them, I'd probably lead Lilligant and Torkoal to try and overwhelm my team right away. I'm going off script, but I think I want to try and lead Tornadus here just in case. Torn and Amoonguss face off against Lilligant and Torkoal. Lilligant shows why Sleep Powder sleep. And from here, no way for them to stop. My next round is against another Sun team. Though this one is more reliant on it than there's no longer an answer to Terra Water Amoonguss in the rain. Despite sitting 0 on it in the last round, Dance is a consistent Trick Room option. Unfortunately for them, Tornadus' Rain Dance is a complete menace. And with the Focus Sash,
what should I open with for this dude? Trick Room only. Trick Room ons. Sun team. This is Sun team. Among Us and Rain Dance. Rain Dance was always because Sun team ke against Rain Dance. Tornadus.
keeping it alive, there's no clear way for my opponent to get rid of Torn. In game 1, they don't even bother bringing Torkoal, but without the Sun, they just don't have the damage to break through, and I win by abusing Tornadus and Fluttermane. Game 2 opens up with a Walking Wake and Torkoal lead against my Tornadus and Urshifu, but I pick up a double KO on the first turn with close combat, critical hitting Walking Wake, and Bleakwind KOing the switched in Whimsicott. They expected me to Rain Dance and wanted to try and encore Tornadus into it, but I decided to just attack. Up 4-2 after a single turn, I win the game. 4 wins, 0 losses.
So
Round
tricky,
5 is
dude.
against another team with Whimsicott.
Yeah, the tournament is only first stage evolution. The rules are given in the forms.
But the disadvantage of using Whimsicott as your Tailwind setter is that it's weak to Tornadus. My opponent gambled early on Urshifu being KO'd by their Landorus, but thanks to all my bulk, it isn't close, and I quickly win game 1. Game 2 is a bit scarier. I switched to Torn and Amoonguss as my lead against Incineroar and Urshifu Dark, who's holding a Choice Band. But
Whimsicott. Okay, cool.
despite the threat of Fake Out, I think they're going to double attack Amoonguss. I switch to Urshifu and survive the Terra Dark, Choice Band Wicked Blow, and Flare Blitz, as Torn misses Bleakwind Storm. I don't want that to happen again, so I go for Rain Dance and Surging Strikes to knock out their Urshifu and survive the Flare Blitz. But it burns, cutting my damage output in half. They send out Whimsicott, but in the first game, I switched my Torn out whenever Encore risked locking me into a bad move. So my opponent predicts me to switch again, and preemptively switches their Whimsicott into Landorus. I don't switch. Surging Strikes and Bleakwind KOs Incineroar and brings Landorus to low HP. Tailwind and Surging Strikes finishes off Landorus, and my opponent forfeits, never seeing my final Pokemon. With 5 wins and no losses, I'm feeling good. Round 6 is against a team.
The opponent has Flutter, then it's Urshifu with Terra Water Surgical Strike, also with next Chinpa. Fluttermane has got 55 defense and 55 HP, so Urshifu destroys it. Yeah, buddy, but I'm saying, what if the he is also good with it and he keeps his Fluttermane out at the last, and then you have to play. Well,
Composition
that's what
reminiscent
this
of the
guy
early
had to
teams of the
face.
format, with Entei, Urshifu Dark, and Ogerpon Wellspring. And that means I've got a ton of experience against it. I use Urshifu, Incineroar, and Fluttermane to tear through my opponent's team game 1, and Urshifu in the Rain supported by Amoonguss game 2. With 6 wins under my belt, I only need 1 more to advance to day 2. And so far, it's been pretty smooth sailing.
We'll see.
I've only had to
We'll
play a
learn
single
through
game
hard.
3. Can't wait
hard
for the
way.
rest of the day to go just as well.
I think I'll play. I'll win through hard way. Let's try in the hard way. Like, you know, experience it. Experience the shit. Let's go. I don't know how it's gonna go. Oh my god, what? Oh wait, this is not the team what I wanted. Sorry, my bad. This is the team what I wanted to play. I'm gonna keep it as a streak. I'm gonna practice a bit. Then we're gonna keep the timer of how many streaks I want. First, we'll practice a bit so that I will understand how I'm playing. Am I playing good or am I playing bad, really bad? And teams are really bad or good. Oh, this was the team what I had actually seen. And why am I playing in regulation F? My bad. Oh, call open shit. I wanted to play in open shit. Why am I playing in this? My bad. My bad. Okay, this actually sucks. This actually sucks. I don't wanted to play in this. I literally didn't want to play in this. Ouch. This is really bad. This is really bad, chat. I think I'll open with okay, wait, this is a dark and dragon type. Okay, cool. Really bad for this. So I think I'll open with this and keep back with this, and I don't know, dude. This. I think I can play for this. Okay, Ashifu. Cool. Speed is active. Dark and dragon type. So I think fake out on that, and I'm gonna go for spore on Arshifu, but no. I think I can go for this move, but again he has aerial ace. That's actually scary. So I think I need to go for a call that is gonna do no. I think I'm gonna shit, dude. Will I survive that? Will I survive? No, protect. Let's go. Oh no, double protect. Ouch. That hurts. That hurts. He went for a double protect. That's off. I didn't expect him to do that. He knew it. I'm gonna use a fake out. So that's really bad. Ouch. That's really bad. I think I'm gonna go for a parting shots here, and I'm gonna go for wait. Yep, I need to do that. Spore on this guy, but again, it's a water type, so. Terra Grass, I guess. I think, yeah, Terra Grass, parting shot on Roaring Moon, and Spore on this. Ooh. Okay, Taunt. Okay, Taunt was not expected, to be honest. I didn't expect Taunt to come out, but anyway. I think I'm gonna use a Sludge Bomb. Yeah, I'm really playing bad. I'm really playing bad. I'm really playing bad. I'm really playing bad. I think I'm playing bad. I think I'm literally playing bad. Sets up the tailwind. Ouch. Surgical strike. I expected it to come, dude. Ouch. Bro, what should be the level of Pokemon in your tournament? I think we are following regulation H format, though it will be, you know, he's gonna go for double protect, to be honest. I think, yeah, he's gonna go for double protect. I knew it. It should be level 5, but it automatically turns into level 50 because of the format. So it's okay, cool. I think he's gonna go for taunt. I think I'm gonna go for protect. I'll just go for a risky move. Ouch, he had acrobatics, dude. I should have thought about it. He had acrobatics. Close combat, Urshifu is really bad. Spore on this. And Ouch. Ah, yeah, protect. It's okay. Cook it. He's asleep only, so I think sludge bomb and a U-turn, and I'm stuck with. Oh my god. Anyway, sludge bomb. Hmm. Hmm. Sludge bomb on this, and U-turn on this. Yeah. Ooh, shit. I really played bad here. I really played bad here, to be honest. I don't think I could win this. Dude, he survived. What the fuck? I don't know. Surgical strikes kill it. Okay, cool. Array, it should be level 5 cap, but it automatically turns into level 15 the regulation format. So you can keep it anything between, 50 or something. But automatically it level caps into level 50, dude. So that's what I'm trying to say. I played really bad. That was really bad. Oh wait, oh my god. Oh my god. I was about to do that itself. Uh, okay, cool. I want a open sheet. I want a open sheet format game, so I understand what I need to take out. Uh, okay. So it's a Fluttermine, photosynthesis, fairy, dazzling gleam, shadow ball, calm mind, protect. Focus stash, alchemy with the decorate kissing. Okay. It's a terra steel. Okay. No, it's a fairy type. Okay, with that, rapid shifu and assault twist, instant. Okay, cool. Oh my god. Hmm. I need to take an advantage here, chat. Hmm. Hmm. I think I'll go for this. I'll keep rapid Urshifu in the back. But also there is this psychic Pokemons, and also there is a normal ground type Pokemon. So I need to be aware of that. Yeah, but I can use this rage powder stuff. But again, his psychic's gonna f me up. So I need to be very, 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 very aware of this whole game right now. And there's a water type as well. So let's see. I should have gone. I should have gone for that. Ouch, my bad. I think. Does it has protect? No. Harshifu doesn't have protect. He has. Okay. So I think you know what. Uh, I can go for a sludge bomb here, and I can go on a fake out on Harshifu. Okay. Flinched. Sludge bomb. I didn't decorate. I think. Oh, light screen setup. Okay, cool. I'm gonna Terra Steel. I'm gonna Terra Steel. No, I'm gonna go for Protect. No. Nah, it can go for Unseen Fist. So I think I'm gonna Terra Steel, Sludge Bomb. No, I think I'm gonna, yeah, Sludge Bomb on this because he's gonna go for so it's no use over there again. I'm gonna go for a knockoff. Oh no, not knockoff. Parting shot on this. So that would be a greater call. Hmm. I see. He did a U-turn over there. So my parting shots won't work. Ursaluna. Okay. Ah. Okay. Ursaluna didn't go for that. I'm gonna go for this. Rapid strike Urshifu. He did a decorate over there. Okay. Oh. Whoa. 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 I think you know what. I'm gonna go for this thing here, and I'm gonna go for surge. Yeah, because I did a Terra Steel over there, and he's not faster than me, so I think this should do it. But again, I don't know whether he has a protect. Yeah, he does has a protect, so he does has a protect. So I need to be worried about this now. Yeah, but I don't think because my Arcelon has Unseen Fist, so it's cool. One, please go for it. I should have done a Terra Water, so it would have striked it down very much. My bad. Ah! Headlong Rush actually killed it, dude. It's really bad. Headlong Rush was really bad. And I think, you know what, I can go for a Insane here quickly. And he doesn't have a protect. So I think I can go for a fake out right immediately here. And I can go for surgical strike on Ursaluna. I think I'm gonna no, but anyway, it's gonna get faked out, and if he uses a protect also, it's cool. He didn't use protect, so to remember it, he didn't use protect, chat. So again, the last Pokemon is his Alchemine. No, it's not his last mon, so we didn't see his final mon. Is he gonna take? Nah, he took out his Alchemine. So I think it's a Steel, Terra Steel right now. So Flare Blitz gonna do the thing what I want it to do. But yeah, I think actually it's really bad right now. I am gonna get my Goo Goo Gaga here, and I'm gonna go for strike on Urshifu. Yeah, expected it. I did predictions. I read the predictions right. So that's actually cool. Draining case, that's cool. Oh my god, it healed itself so much. Firegraph is his last mon. So I think Psychic's gonna be effective on this, also this. I'm gonna go for this here, and I'm gonna switch to Ensign. Just doing the prediction games. He has a hyper voice as well, also. Spore on that. Yeah. Oh, it did decor. Please spore it. Ouch! That sucks, dude. Close combat. Knock off. I don't know. I have to go for this. I had no other options. He's gonna go for a protect. I feel so. He's gonna go for a protect. And I don't have a proper answer because it's a psychic type there. I should go there itself. I have no options. And it still survives. Oh, Trick Chrome, and that sucks. Hyper Voice gonna kill me, chat. I think so. Hyper Voice gonna kill me, but oh, I survived that. Fudge! Oh my god. Oh my god. That's really great. I survived it somehow. Okay, it's supposed to come. Why is it not coming? Anyway, okay, cool. I'm ready. Oh my god. I think he's gonna switch a bit. I think he's gonna get his Ferrigraph first. So I need to open with a proper plan here. I think I'll go for this and this. I'll set up Goo Goo Gaga in the back so that I think it might be need for anything. I don't know. And even I know, should I do I need hey Orna the cutie, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining in, buddy. Hope you had a great day. Hope the stream makes a bit for you. I don't know whether I should take Landers or should I take Urshifu though. Should I take Landers or should I take Urshifu? I think I'll take Urshifu. I think I have to take Urshifu. I have no other options, but yeah, cool. Okay. I can see you. I see what you did there. He's gonna go for fake out on my but he cannot do fake out on my this thing. So that's actually cool. I think he's gonna fake out on my wait. Kihibia. Oh shit, what's up? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Thank you so much for joining and hope you had a great day. Hope the stream makes a bit for you. I think he's gonna go for a helping hand knockoff on this thing. So I'm gonna go for just a Moonblast on Ensign. And I think I'm gonna go for a fake out on Ensign here. I think yeah, fake out, there you go. He did that. Oh, it didn't do anything. What? Oh my god, that didn't do anything. That's pretty Uh, Protect, and I think I'm gonna go for a parting shot on this, I guess. What does he have? It's an assault. Oh, it's an assault twist. Ah, I should have thought so. Ah. Hmm. Oh my god. What a predict, dude. And I didn't mean by predict. But yeah, that was a crazy call I took there. Hmm. Okay, intimidate. भाई डीमन स्लेयर कब खेलोगे? अरे प्लान करना पड़ेगा भाई, अभी तक सोचा नहीं है कब खेलना है बोल के. This should do it. Knockout won't work. Draining kiss, I don't know. Think knockoff. Bhai, either he needs to switch his paragraph to survive this one. Okay, he's. Oh. Oh my god! I literally forgot! Ghost types are. Oh my god, it is a normal psychic type. Oh my god, the whole plan was to drop its. What do you call that? Drop its whole thing, but it didn't work out. Protect and knock off on Ensign. Protect and knock off on Ensign should do it. Because he's having assault twist, dude. That's really scary. And that buddy, oh yeah, it's my completely a fairy type, so cool. Makes sense. Uh, I think I'll go for Dazzling Gleam. And a fairy type पे flare blitz तो effect उतना ज़्यादा नहीं पड़ेगा, but thinking of it, what does alchemy has? Focus stash, okay. And I broke its stash, right? I literally broke its stash, so that's cool. Dazzling Gleam 100. Okay, cool. I think I'm gonna go for flare blitz here. Yo, that's a predict. That's a freaking predict. Terra Steel. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, he went for a Terra Steel. Oh, he forfeited. Let's go. First win. GG's for the first win. Then super. There you go. I won that. That's a hard read. Oh my god, that was a hard read, dude. That was a hard read, chat. That was a hard read. Oh my god. Scary as F. Okay, before that, just give me a moment. I'll just on the lights on the hall and the entrance so that my mom comes and she doesn't scold me at this. Still, I'm back. We'll go for another round. And he didn't change his mons, to be honest. He kept the same thing. Okay, Kambonu. This is a mon which I'm familiar with. Mystical Water, Aquajet. Oh my god. Boosted Energy, Raging Bolt, Assault Twist, Raging Bolt. That's the whole reason I have this one. Again, that's a Heat Flame. So I need to think. I think I'll go for the Tornadoes and I'll go for Insane. Not Insane. Yeah, I think I should go for Tornadoes and this opening here, right here. And I think the back will be with Landress and Urshifu? I think so because I don't know whether what else but yeah, fake out will be useful to be honest. Uh, hmm. Yeah, I'll go for that. I'll just see whether this works. If the opening goes wrong, I think I need to switch. Uh, okay. So this guy is gonna go for a rain dance or tailwind setup or something. So I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go for a bleaking storm, and I think I'm gonna go for a sludge bomb right there. Terra water. Should I do Terra water to be honest? Because bleaking storm is also scary part for me here. Uh, here's a covert cloak. Yee! Ivy Cudgel, I thought so! I thought so, buddy. He's gonna do that. I doubled into it. I doubled into his ogre pawn. So that's clear and dusted. Okay, his ogre pawn is gone. So one mon is down already. So I thought he would do that. I think you know what. I think I'll go for a tailwind setup with getting uh, protect. But yeah, again, there are two KOs I have to be aware of. So I think I'll go for a Landress here and I will go for Intimidate right immediately. So that's actually a very good, I hope it's a very good call. I don't know what should I call for that. He did a Tailwind setup. That's actually okay. He did Dracometer on that. So dropped his attack and special attack. I'm gonna go for I don't know whether I should go for an immediate earth power to be honest. Uh, wait, he has a setup for tailwind. I think. Hmm. I need to see. Uh, earth power on raging bolt and what is his covered cloak? Okay, cool. Uh, I think it's only covered cloak. So assault twist. I'll do a knockoff here. Ah, I switched to Ashifu. Bad call. You gotta go. Bye bye, bye bye. See ya. Maybe I was wrong about Reg if I saw a guy using Okidoki and Moltres. Oh yeah. Hey, what happened to my instant attack? Knockoff Urshifu fainted. The opposing Urshifu fainted. I hate to use knockoff. The opposing tornadoes protected its raging. Oh my god. Okay. I actually didn't expect it to happen, but that's actually cool. I'm gonna use this. Terra Fairy! Shit. Okay, it connect. Oh my god, thank. Oh! Ooh! I survived both the hits. Lol. I survived both the hits, and I'm gonna take out his Assault Vest. So that's actually cool. Tailwind still there up. I think Protect and a parting shots on Tornadoes should do it. Protect and parting shots on Tornadoes should do it. Thunderclap failed. Ah, bleaking. It's connected, dude. Ah, shit. I thought it should not. I wished it didn't connect. I'm faster than that guy. So. Fairy. So, Sludge Bomb. Wait, he's a Assault Vest guy. So, he doesn't have Protect. Thunderclap is still existing. But Thunderclap won't do anything on my ground type. So. That's actually good. Sludge Bomb on Raging Bolt and Tailwind setup should do it. Yeah, Tailwind. Sludge Bomb. Cool. That's down. Tornadoes is still there. So Bleaking Storm killed my other thing. So that's really bad. I'm gonna go for a Spore on Tornadoes and I'm gonna go for a Bleaking Storm right there. I missed. I missed. But Spore should do it. Spore did it. I think Lando is OP with Life Orb Sheer Force. I know, right? Sludge Bomb on Tornadoes and I think hey, Bleaking Storm. I missed Bleaking Storm again, dude. What the fudge? You must be kidding me with missing of that Bleaking Storm right there. Sludge Bomb on Tornadoes. Please don't miss it, dude. Don't miss at least this time. Don't miss at least this time and don't get up. One turn is already done. Okay, cool. I think he gave up. I think he gave up. Yeah, I think I no, I won actually. He didn't give up. I won. Okay, that's really cool. So I have to predict again what might be his opening. The previous opening where the Tornadoes and Ogapon. Rain Dance is good because Bleaking gets 100% accuracy in rain. I swear that's the whole point. But I think that guy. What if he gets a Bleaking Storm? That's really scary for me. If he there is when there is a chances of him missing out also. So that's actually I should think about that, right? Um, mm, I think I should go with the same thing, or should I change it? Hmm. I don't know. Should I change it, chat? I'll go for the same opening, and I'll keep Landress and Ashif in the back. Yeah, good. I mean my Insane in the back. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Rapid Ashif. Ooh, that's actually scary right now. Hmm. I'm gonna have a Bleaking Storm and I'm gonna Terra Water Spore on. Wait, his Urshifu has a protect. Yeah, his Urshifu has a protect, so that's scary. And his Tornadus also has protect, but I think either he's gonna go for double protect. Yeah, I think he's gonna go for a double protect. That's what my read is saying. But again, this kind. Yeah, I thought so. Oh no, he didn't go for a double protect, and I didn't even use a Terra. Lol, I didn't even use Terras. My bad. I'm gonna do a Tailwind setup, and I'm gonna go for Terra Water Spore on Urshifu as well. He wasted his Terra, dude. That's lol. Yeah, a Tailwind setup, Terra Water Spore on Urshifu. Tornadus is still there. I'm just gonna go for a Tailwind setup for a safer end. Surgical strike on that. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oof. Spore. Okay, cool. Bleak Windstorm and Sludge Bomb on his this thing. Uh, okay. Cool. It didn't connect though. Mm, he expect me to switch. That's actually one thing. Mm, I think I'm gonna sack my this thing for a Breaking Storm, and I'm gonna switch to this to Landress. Ooh, I predicted him to do that. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go for Bleaking Storm again, and I'm gonna switch to this thing. I hate you. Uh, and my Terrestrialize is still there. My Terra is still there. But I didn't predict him to actually go for this thing to that. But anyway, my bad. Ooh, ooh. Tailwind setup, cool. That killed it both. Oh my god. Oh my god. And he's an Assault with Raging Bolt. So, Ivy Cuddle over there. So, Force Tailwind is up. So, he's gonna move faster than mine. I think I'm gonna go for no. Yeah. That's pretty scary right now. I think I'm gonna go for a Tailwind setup, and I'm gonna go for a knockoff right immediately. Wait, was my incense first entry? Was it my incense first entry though? Tank come back. I hate you incense. Okay, I think yeah, this should do it. Uh, Fake out on this. Yeah, fake out on that. Okay, cool. I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind. I take the hit. It's cool. Flensed. I'm gonna go for Landers here, and I would take a substitute. Yeah, Ivy Cudgel is a fire type move from him. I think I'll go for protect and I'll go for a knockoff. But yeah, follow me. Spiky Shield one is actually scary, So I'll just go for knockoff over there. I think he's gonna do a spiky shield, to be honest, chat. But let's see. Why the hell is no music coming out from this? Oh my god. Oh my god. My ears. Fuck. I took away its Earth power on Raging Bull, and I think I shouldn't go for what do you call that? What do you call that? Like holding back. I don't think I should go for a holding back. Ouch! I just told I shouldn't go for a holding back and I just did that. I didn't do that and I cooked myself with that. I took a wrong call, dude. I took a wrong call. My bad. I'm ready. Okay, I won the first round. I took the bait very wrong. I took the bait very wrong. I was winning that, dude. I cooked myself with that. I took the bait very wrong. And I should have directly gone for it. Ooh, the guy opened up with the same strategy. I think I'll go for a tailwind setup, right? Okay, wait, let me see. Does he has that? Okay. He can't use protect, so I think I'll go for a tailwind right immediate right there. And I'll go for Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam. I think that should do it. It didn't. Assault Vest is bad. Assault Vest is really bad. Okay, I think I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna substitute here. And I'll go for protect. I think I have no other options but to do that. And I think I'm gonna lose this one. I swear I'm gonna lose this one. Oh, that was a nice one. I'm gonna Sludge Bomb on Fluttermane and a Shadow Ball on Raging Bolt. I think that should do it. I think that should drop. That should drop. Oh my god! Why would you do that, dude? Why would you do that? It literally took you away. Oh my god. The damn dude. That's a damn idiot thingness. Oh my god. I'm actually having a good grip right here. I'm having a good grip right here. I think I'm gonna go for a Sludge Bomb on this, and I'm gonna wait. What is a Terra grass? Okay, cool. Terra type is grass is fine. I'm gonna protect. His protect got wasted, so that's honestly is fine. I think I'm gonna go for a Dazzling Gleam. That should do a double attack. And his Fluttermane speed is already gone because he switched his Fluttermane. So photosynthesis is not active. And I'm faster than him. Oh my god, double protect. Dude, you must be kidding me with the double protect, dude. You must be kidding with the double protect. And he's gonna go for a triple protect and I don't want that. And he has still a Mon in his back. That's really bad for me. That's really bad for me. And that's a rapid strike Urshifu, and that's really bad for me. He has a mystical water, so it kinda sucks. I have to go double into it. I have no other options but to go double into it. Wait, we'll knock off kill it. I bet he's gonna go for my Landorus. And I have no options. He went for my Landorus, dude. I swear. I should have thought about it. Now I'm really bad at. I'm a really bad spot. I'm really bad spot. I lost both. GG's boys. He just got it. He just got it. I lost both. I just won first. I was so winning at the second one, dude. I just did some blunder. Let's do an open shield. Oh, Cresselia. I see. Dazzling Gleam, Moonblast, Shadow Boot. I'm okay. It's a Choice Specs one. Okay, Choice Specs Fluttermane is okay. Bit of a scary, but not too much. Well, Ivy Cuddle, Hornleads, Follow Me, Spiky Shield, okay, that's a Wellspring one. Raging Bolt, okay. So this thing is a must. I think I'll go for this in the beginning, and then I'll set up with this and Ursaluna, which is Ursaluna is a ground and a okay. It's a flame orb one. Again, Raging Bolt can be scary here. I'll go for this. I think I'll go for this. I thought so he's gonna get his this thing. I'll go for the Serastor. Limited safety goggles. He has a safety goggle, so that's really bad. Cresselia has what moves? Moonblast, Trick Room, Lunar Blessing, Helping Hand. Okay, it's a Moonblast, so even if I don't do it, also it's fine. And what does he has on? Okay, I think I don't have to Terra Water this, and I will go double on this. Ouch! I missed Bleaking Storm, dude. Seriously. Oh, thankfully I didn't go for Rain Dance. Protect and just really scary, dude. It's what? It's supposed to be immune, right? Okay, that's really bad. That's really bad. I don't have Instant here. I'm actually cooked. No option but to click on this. Rain Dance. It cannot be spored also. Shit. I think I need to protect my Gugu Gaga no matter what. I want to protect my Mungus no matter what, because that's the whole thing which is in this advantage in the trick room. So I think that's actually a great call I did right there. Oh my god, Luna Blessing, dude. I took away its burn advantage. And now I can... What? Are you serious with this? It got double into... Oh my god, that's really bad. That is such a good strategy over there. Who had the trick room? That thing, right? Good. He has protect, but doesn't matter for me. He has protect, but doesn't matter for me. But dude, that was really bad. I wouldn't go for a close combat. I'm not that idiot. Bleaking Storm should clear. Let's go. Oh my god. That's I literally, his mons were whooping my ass, dude. And now I think I'm gone. I think I'm gone. He's gonna do a thunderclap, and that's really bad for me. Thunderclap. He didn't do thunderclap. I did for that. Ouch. Idioting move, dude. And trick room setups. Really bad, man. I'm in a really bad situation right now. And that too, I'm in a thunderclap. Lol. I think I have no other options but to go for substitute here. Oh my god, it just cooked me. No way. No way it did that. Okay, my special attack is dropped to 100. What the hell will I do with that? Ooh. To stall one more turn. Oh my god, it does a lunar blessing on itself. Please poison it though. I have no option but to go for substitute. He's gonna go for trick room. I knew it. Earth power on Cresselia. He's gonna do Lunar Blessing back to back. Oh, it's levitating. Sorry. Duck, I'm actually I'm doing a video, so I'm so sorry for that. Oh my god, Moonblast does. He's gonna do a Lunar Blessing, dude. I swear to god, I'm gonna slap him right now. Dude, Cresselia is so freaking bulky. Oh my god, survive the hit. I think he's gonna go for Lunar Blessing again. No, okay, cool. Cool, good for you, brother. GG's. Play another one. Okay, I need to plan right now. The previous openings were what was his previous openings? I can't check like this during the actual official match, but right now I can do, I guess. He opened up with Wellspring and Cresselia. Okay, I need to plan with Cresselia. I think this is it, and I need to keep this thing in the back, and I have to keep my both the mons out because he's gonna set up trick rooms. That's for sure. I think I need to keep my both the mons out. I have no other options. That is the scary part, dude. I need to be so aware of these. Okay, I thought so. Insane will be in the game. You know what I'll do? I'll just go for a fake out. Okay. Wait, his Insane is an assault vest one. So knock off. Oh wait. I can give a fake out on me as well, right? So I'm going for a fake out over there, and I'm gonna go for a spore on his Insane. No, he did a ogre pawn. Ah! Nice call. No matter what, I want my Mungus to be there. I think you know what I'll do. I'll go for parting shots on this, and I'll switch to this thing, Flutterman. Ouch. Survived that, but that's actually good. Go for this. Oh my god, he went for facade for that. He can't protect it though. That's actually good. I'm gonna go for Dazzling Beam. I think I thought he will go for my Amungus, but he didn't. That's really bad. Oh my god. Easy serious about this. Ivy Cuddle. Okay, I still survived that. That's actually cool. I think I'm gonna go for this here, and I'm gonna go for a Shadow Ball on this. Cresselia is the one thing which I was so I'm doomed about it. Oh my god, you must be kidding me, dude. Oh yeah, his Ursuluna is faster than mine. His Ursuluna in Trick Room is faster than mine. I forgot that. I literally forgot that. I think he's gonna switch his Cresselia as much as I think he should. He will. Oh my god! I hate. It's eating my head. But I'm gonna play this myself. I'm gonna sit and actually play this properly. I need to get the strategy right. I need to get my strategies right. Simple. Simple as that. He's still up with one mon, dude. I'm just gonna go forfeit. Forfeit. GG's boy, GG's. You played actually well. I'm playing dumb. Anyways, thank you so much for staying. Whoever stayed here, whoever joined for the stream, thank you so much. Lots of love to you all. I'm just progressing myself as a VGC player. I need to focus on very much on this because if I'm taking seriously shit to play as a VGC player, so I need to do that. So thank you so much for staying here. Thank you so much. Lots of love to you all. With that said, it's me Supernova signing off. See you all.